A lot of boy moms are straight up birds and straight weirdos. Hey y'all, I'm Lily and my boyfriend's mom helped him cheat on me. Yes. Let me explain what happened. Y'all already know with my story times, I tell you guys who is who, what is what, and what's tea. Let's get right into it, y'all. This is another story time about Thomas the Train. If you're new here, Thomas the Train is one of my ex-boyfriends. I call him Thomas the Train because this man has a round head, a fat face, and he has big old eyes. He literally looks like Thomas the Train, y'all. Like, for real. But we're gonna call him Tommy for short. And today I'm introducing Tommy's mom, who we're going to call Eagle. We're gonna call her Eagle because eagles are big bald birds. I don't think I need to elaborate.
I wasn't even gonna do this, but you know what, might as well. The motherfucker ain't shit anyway, so I'm about to air it out. I'm about to air every fucking thing out. So story time about how Mr. You about to lose your job, Julius, was cheating on me for the past 3 years out of the 4 years that we were together. Oh, and for the people that are like, oh no, he wouldn't do that, oh, please believe I have his whole confession on tape, and please believe I'm gonna put it in this video. So this motherfucking bitch got caught living a double life with 2 different women in 2 different states. Now mind you, me and the girl, hey baby, me and her cool. I ain't got no problem with her because we both were trading stories. So if you see this, hey baby. Either way, so yeah, we were together in 2020. That's when we got together. Everybody saw it. It was a whole thing. So apparently he met this girl in 2021 at a club, and you know, whatever, they started a thing.
Let me put you on my business real quick. So when I was like 18 or 19, I was in a relationship with this boy, okay? And we were so serious. He was from the East. We were so serious. So we had lived together and everything. We lived together in Hammond, and we lived together in the East, and at the time, we were Chanel Creek or whatever. I had to live with his people. You know, he had to stay with my mama for a short spurt of time. Like, it was serious. So after we lived in Chanel Creek and I moved back with my mom, he moved back with his mom in the East, you know, we was like, the apartment was, I guess, too much. I don't really remember why it was $500 a month. I really don't remember why the fuck we moved. But anyway, I stayed with my mama, and then my cousin was like, oh, I got an apartment. You know, I'm about to move out and go do my own thing if you want to stay in this apartment. So I was like, fucking right. So I'm in an apartment by myself, and, you know, because we still in a relationship, I'm like, oh, why?
Yo, now that I'm in a new relationship, it made me realize just how toxic my past relationship was. So let's do a little series where I start telling you about all the toxic shit that me and my ex, who's also my baby daddy, used to do to each other. Okay, so boom. Let's take this back to when I was 19 years old. So I was 19, my ex was 21. And we had just bought like new cars. We bought like matching cars. So I went buy me a blue Malibu, and he went buy the same Malibu, but he bought his in white. So we had the same cars. So we would get into it like real bad and break up a lot. Like we was on and off. So we had got into it real fucking bad, and so we broke up. We went together no more. He packed up. He left. Cool. Also, excuse my voice because I am sick, so that's why I sound like real nasally. But yeah.
Have you ever been in a toxic relationship and didn't realize how bad it was until you met someone new? Yeah. Most of us have been there, and so have these ladies. They're about to share their stories, and honestly, some of it might hit close to home. Before we get into it, drop a like and subscribe. It helps way more than you know. All right, enjoy.
One time I told this guy I was dating, I was like, can you please not go to the club and have girls like throw ass on you? Like, can you just not do that? And he was like, Selena, you wouldn't get it. You're Arab, but twerking is part of my culture. And if I don't go out, like, it's not fair for me to not partake in a cultural practice. And I was like, okay, so like you're dating a girl, you're exclusive with her. You think it's okay to like actually just catch ass? And he was just like, well, yeah, like it's just part of my culture. Like I don't judge you for going to Friday prayer. And I was like, wait, no. I was just like, at first I was like, but then I was like, no, don't do that. And I just think like, bro, I can't even believe like he tried that. Like I genuinely can't believe that you thought I'd be like, yeah, it's totally okay for you to go and have girls twerking on you, and, oh, it's just part of your culture. Like, bro, how dumb do you fucking think I am?
Okay. So, basically, you puked in the bed on Sunday night.
Yes, I did.
And
Sunday, yes.
Sunday night, you puked in the bed when I needed to wake up at 6:30 in the morning, and I had to spend until 1 in the morning cleaning up your puke. Because you drank 2 IPAs, and I don't know what happened. But anyway, let's go back in our history where I've told you I don't like you drinking because of that. And you did exactly that. On the night that my mom just got here, and she's up until 1 a.m. with me cleaning up your puke. My mom helped me clean up your puke. So on top of the fact that when you drink, you cheat on me, and when you drink, you get angry, and when you drink, you throw up, I asked you, I do not want you to drink. On Sunday night, I was being lenient, and I said you can have 2 drinks. And that was too much because you puked in the bed anyway. Then after that, I asked you, I said, I don't want you drinking at all, but if you're going to drink, just one more, just only one. And how many did you have tonight? Because Mom told me the real count. So
What the real count?
Why don't you tell me what the count was?
I'm curious to know what she said.
No, I want to know what your count was.
My count was 2.5.
No.
3, maybe?
No.
Max? What was the count?
She said 3 Coors Lights and 2 of the, or at least 1 of the IPAs. Is that one drink? Let me ask you that first. Is that one drink?
No, of course
Okay,
not.
so when you told me you wouldn't have more than one drink, was that you not giving a shit, or do you not respect me? Which one is it?
Me not giving a shit because I knew I wouldn't throw up.
It's not about throwing up. My kid is here, for one. And for 2, it is about respecting my wishes, where I said, I do not want you to drink anymore. Because I had to clean up your puke. So, my question again, is it about not giving a shit,
again,
or
right.
that you don't respect me?
I didn't give a shit.
Okay, that's all I needed to know. Because honestly, they're both the same answer. If you didn't give a shit, then you don't respect me.
It was a trick question. Very smart.
So, it's okay. I have decided that because...
Do I need to go?
You can do whatever you'd like, but I'd like you to not sleep in my bed with me. And I'd like you to not make a scene with my mom here. Yeah, so if you can respect at least that little bit, where I'm saying, please don't sleep in my bed and please don't cause a scene. You can do however you like. You can pack up your shit as long as whenever you decide. But
you're adorable.
I'm done right now.
You're done. Pinky promise? You're done?
I 100% pinky promise I'm done because...
So we're breaking up.
We are. Because I'm not respected. My wishes aren't respected. I'm not respected. You've cheated on me twice. You've left me on Thanksgiving. And now you're here drinking when I've asked you not to drink. So it's kind of clear, the pattern, that you do not care about me. And that's okay. No hard feelings. We can just go our separate ways peacefully.
Liar.
We can go our separate ways peacefully.
I bet, because this is your house now. My name is on the title,
and that's okay. But like I said, you can pack up and leave whenever you feel like you want to leave. But for me, I'm
waited
done.
until the end. You waited until the end. You made me watch that shitty ass movie and wait until the end. That's adorable. That's awesome. I love you. I love you. Okay.
I didn't make you watch anything.
Okay.
I was watching that with my mother.
I was
and you were on the phone.
Uh-huh.
You were on the phone talking through the movie while me and my mom were trying to watch it.
But you're a fucking narcissist because you were on the phone too talking to Jess.
Yeah.
Don't fucking lie to me.
There's a difference.
Don't fucking lie to me.
There's a difference, bud.
All right, you're gonna sit here and record, and that's okay. So the
difference is you were on the phone, like talking on the phone. I can text and watch it.
I was talking to my godmother.
Okay, but still, it was during a movie.
It was on speak. Okay, I'm so sorry. I am so sorry. I was talking to my godmother about my special needs nephew. I am so sorry.
I don't know why you chose. Sorry. I don't know why you chose. You could have stepped away from the movie, or you could have asked if we could pause it.
If I was to step away from the movie, you would sit there and think that I was talking to somebody else. And you know what? I had it on speaker.
And you know what? That's fine. I can think whatever I want, and you've given me enough proof that that's what you would be doing. But it doesn't matter because the drinking is what made me kind of pull the last straw.
Okay.
So
that's fair. I'm not going to sit here and assault you.
I'm not saying you're going to assault you.
I know you're sitting, here recording me, and that's okay.
I'm recording you because...
I'm going to be calm and collective, and it's all right, because you have anger issues as well.
And that's fine. I know you want to gaslight right now, but I'm asking. I would like to go to bed because it's 10 o'clock, and I would like it if you did not sleep next to me.
Go ahead. Do what you gotta do.
Okay. Thank you so much. Sorry it came down to this, but
no, you're not sorry. Don't fucking lie to me.
Okay, you're right. I was trying to be nice, but no, I'm not sorry.
No, don't lie to me. At least okay. Turn off your camera and let's talk.
No.
I bet not.
Because I would like this to, if you decide to spin your story, however you want it.
I'm not trying to spin a story. My phone's to the side.
And that's okay.
I get it. That's okay. You're gonna, which is crazy because usually you are the one who blows this shit out of proportion.
And now, I understand right now you're trying to gaslight. I understand that.
Okay.
You're trying to throw things in my face. I have told you where I stand on this, and I feel like out of just the little bit of respect you may or may not have for me, you could at least respect my decision and why I made that decision, because it is a valid reason. Is it not?
It's a very valid reason.
Okay, then that's all we need to say.
Oh, okay. So you're done having a conversation?
Yeah, there's not much to talk about this. Okay. We do not need to keep this relationship going if there is not mutual respect, because I have not cheated on you. I have not left you. Mm-hmm. And if I had any issues that you did not want me to keep doing, like drinking and puking in the bed, if you would have asked me, you don't like it. In fact, when you and I got together, you were sober because you had 2 DUIs. And I stopped drinking to help you and to stay sober with you.
Very smart for the camera. I like that. Very smart.
I know, and you're going to gaslight. It's okay. But I did that because I cared about you and I cared about your sobriety. And then you started drinking again, and it has been nothing but a problem since. Okay. So that's, it's...
Is there anything else for the record that you want to throw into the conversation?
No, I've put out all of the details. You've cheated on me twice. You have left me on Thanksgiving and told me we were done. I begged you to come back and you didn't care.
How about the things that you've done?
Okay, we're going to put it on the camera. I have been angry and I've said very rude things. And
How about you go into detail about those things?
We don't need to. That's the thing. Because I'm not going into details about how you cheated on me.
Let's go into details about that.
We don't need to.
Why not? Because you've said that you have completely broken me down as a human being with your words, right? And I get it. The cheating was one thing. But I stuck around, and I tried to do better. And
you stuck around,
and I tried to redeem myself. Right?
You stuck around. That's what happened.
No, I begged to be around because I wanted to be around. Right?
Okay.
And you took it upon yourself. And granted, I'm still in the wrong. You're in the right. You are the good guy. You would go out on tangents and completely break down my character, break down my masculinity when there was no evidence to be had, right? Because of one, 2, or 3 things that had set you off, right? And granted, right now, sure, the drinking, big deal. Your biggest issue was the throwing up and the drinking, right?
And the cheating, but
Of course, the cheating.
And I kind of just glossed over the fact that we've been sitting next to each other. I walked by, you hid your phone again, and it's enough red flags for me to not want to.
But. I would look over and you would be
texting with my best friend.
I don't know
right?
that. I can't see that far.
I would have hit it a lot better if I were texting anybody other than my best friend. But yes, if you wanted to look at the text messages, we were talking about how you're drinking again and how she is begging me to be done with you because the cheating twice should have been it. But for me, I'm stupid and I stayed behind. And I tried to have hope in somebody that there was no hope.
So there's no hope in me at all.
You are currently, you've
Yes or
drank.
no?
You've currently drank with my kid here, and after I asked you not to, after a night of cleaning up your puke. If you just didn't drink at all, that'd be my preference. Because I don't drink anymore because I gave up most of my drinking for you. I have one
Will
drink.
you fucking turn off your phone? You look fucking stupid.
That's fine. I can look stupid. I don't mind.
Again, you look ridiculous.
That's fine. I'm cool with it.
Okay.
I don't mind if I look stupid. I didn't cheat, and I didn't disrespect your wishes.
I get it. I am a cheater. I am a liar. I am a piece of shit. I get it.
It's okay.
It's okay. I get it. It's okay.
We've come to terms with it, and we're moving on from it because
so
we're gonna be peaceful about this. You're gonna go your separate way, and I'm gonna go my separate way, and we're gonna be chill.
I don't want to go my separate way. That's the thing.
And I feel like if you didn't want to, you would have respected my wishes of not drinking. But that's just me, I guess.
Okay. Okay.
I feel like if you did really not want to go our separate ways, not cheating 1 but 2 times, and
Dude,
then
that was okay.
No, it doesn't matter how long ago it was. I'm not healed from it, and my healing is not based on your timeline. It doesn't help me heal when you lie about paying for your car, which you weren't paying for, and you lost your car. And then you lie about paying your credit card bill. You never paid your credit card bill.
Mm-hmm.
And then you lied about saving up money for a new car. And then you spent a whole summer telling me you had money saved up when you didn't because you bought this. So.
Hold on. Pan out again.
I know you want it to look so great. No. It's fine. I should have taken the 1001 red flags you've shown me, and it's my fault for not taking those red flags. It's okay. But I'm... I really wish you...
The fact that you're trying to sit here and play yourself as such a fucking saint and a martyr is...
I'm not saying I'm a saint. I'm just saying this is my... I'm definitely not a saint. That's
what are you?
I'm a woman, and I have been through a lot. Who has what? Been through a lot? Stood by your side while you cheated on me, and while you sat around not getting like your GED or going to college or doing anything, but while you were mad at me because I'm a little bit further in life because I have a degree and I have a good job. You stayed salty for me because of that, but you wouldn't do any of the things I was telling you to do to better yourself. And now it comes full circle. You had 2 DUIs and I still accepted you. I still took you in. I still loved you. And here you are drinking again.
On Facebook?
Oh, I'll put it on TikTok if I have to. I don't care. But 3 years down the road, after you were sober, I got sober for you so that we could help each other because that's what partners do.
Me. I never asked you to get sober.
And you didn't have to. That's the thing.
But
you didn't have to.
But you're gonna sit there and flaunt it in my face. So the thing is, I got sober, right?
You got sober
to get. Fuck you. Hold on. I got sober. You didn't at the start. I never asked you to. I got sober. I got stone cold sober for 2 years because I wanted to. I finished my state requirements. I never asked you to do a dang thing. I never asked you to.
You didn't have to.
But I never asked you to.
And that's fine. But you didn't.
I never asked you to.
That's fine.
You could have done whatever the heck you wanted.
I could have, but I chose to support my partner.
I never asked you to.
And that's fine. You don't have to ask me to support my partner. Apparently, I have to ask you not to drink and just have some basic respect.
You should have asked me if I wanted to drink again.
Clearly, you did.
Of course I did.
And you're probably going to again.
Yeah, I'm going to again.
Yeah, and that's the problem. Because you have a problem.
I don't think I have a problem.
My mother, who has been here for 2 days, has already gathered that you have a problem.
Oh.
We all, Jessica knows you have a problem. Tyler even knows you have a problem. My mother knows you have a problem. Everybody knows you have a fucking problem. And you are the only person. And you know what? That is part of the things they teach you in AA is that you can't fix the problem or whatever until you admit you have a problem. And that's okay. You're not even at step 1 yet. It's okay. But
Of course, I'm not a step one. Okay.
no, I feel like you would know this because you've been through AA.
Can I have my rent money back so I can call myself a lift home?
Oh no, that's already spent.
Oh, yeah, I bet.
That's already
The
spent.
money I've given into this place, I can't have back, so I can't leave. So
Yeah,
I'm kinda stuck
how much
here.
money was it to get us in the door, and whose pocket did it come out of that time?
About $1,000 of my own.
Okay, and what about the last two places? Or the last place, I should say.
We're gonna go backwards. It was all yours.
Yeah, the last place was all mine.
But for this home, it was mine. So I would like to have my money back, so I could at least go home.
That's wonderful.
Can I please have that?
You cannot because I don't have it.
Of course. Yes, you do. Can I please have that back?
I don't have it.
So I will. Okay. So I can't have the money that I put in for the last month, that $450. I can't have that back.
No, because it's spent on the rent.
No, it's not. It's sitting in your savings account.
It's
so can I please have
actually
that
not.
back?
It's actually not though, and I'm happy to show you, but it's not there because because it got put towards the. You remember how we were just talking about this earlier? This pay period right now, this week, that goes to the August rent, and then the next pay period is the other half of August rent. So there's no money set aside. We haven't gotten paid yet.
Okay.
There's only
Crazy.
the money that was already put towards, because it's what date is it? It's July 14th, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
it's a Wednesday. I know what day it is. I'm not too inebriated.
that's great, but like when you submit a payment on the 1st, when does it usually come out of your bank account? So would it come out
comes
before?
out on a Thursday, and I would happily wish that you would have done this tomorrow night. Then that I could at least wait until an ungodly hour until Thursday.
Like I said, I'm not going to require you to do anything you don't want to do right now, but I'm just saying that
We're done.
I don't know what you expect. Do you want me to sit by your side while you continue to disrespect me?
No, I just want you to know. Just let me know. We're done.
I already said
We're done. All right, cool. I love you.
No,
and I'm
you
so
don't.
sorry that I wasn't the person that you wanted, and
I don't think that you do love me, and I wish you would stop lying to me about that. Because if you did,
the thing is, I'm not lying, and that sucks because you have issues. I have issues.
I know I have issues. That's because I keep
Again,
getting cheated on people. I'm not actually getting defensive at all. I'm agreeing with you. I said I do have issues too.
And so I wish I would have recorded all of your anger fits and throwing shit and wanting to get physical. But I didn't, because I know that you've got some things going on upstairs, and I didn't sit there and record you because I love you, and that's not fair. But I don't hold it against you. Because, sure, I have a drinking problem. God, it feels so good. I have a drinking problem, and, maybe I shouldn't be here. And hello, TikTok. All the females. Yeah, no, I am not a man that deserves to be loved. I am not a man that deserves to be cherished. I am a cheater. I do some very shitty things. I'm very self-centered. I only think about myself because in the end, my happiness is the most important. So I will thrive. I will survive. I will finish my GED on my own. Anything else that I need to...
You didn't need to vent all of that, but I mean,
you're gonna put her on TikTok anyway, so what's the point? You're gonna have all these females on your side saying, fuck yeah, on 100%, dump that loser. Hashtag that, dump that loser. But at the end of the day, I'm a grown-ass man. If I tell you that, hey, I threw up last night, I'm not gonna throw up tonight. And I sit here and we can watch a movie.
Hey,
and I can...
Quick question though. What was the difference between Sunday night when you threw up in the bed and tonight? What's the biggest difference?
Eating, actually. Eating.
Close, but the biggest difference is that my child wasn't here.
Oh, yikes, yes, yeah, she wasn't here.
So
because you had a whole fight with your baby daddy, who you probably want to go back to. Anyways, actually no, that's not true. That's not true. I'm sorry. I'm being mean. No, you don't want to go back to him. He's a piece of shit. No, you're right. She wasn't here. Tonight she was here. And so I took the liberty of overeating at work, and then coming home, having a few beers, taking my GED practice test. Fucking aced it.
Right, but
anyways,
I mentioned that I don't like drinking in front of my kids, right?
Yes, you did.
And at the very least, you could have respected them.
I could have.
And you did. So
I did not. No.
Okay, so what is there to excuse?
Nothing at all.
Okay, then that's all we needed to discuss.
Fantastic.
This whole rant you're going on is unnecessary. If you just didn't drink at all, that'd be my preference. Because I don't drink anymore because I gave up most of my drinking for you. I have one
Will
drink.
You fucking turn off your phone? You look fucking stupid.
That's fine. I can look stupid. I don't mind.
Again, you look ridiculous.
That's fine. I'm cool with it.
Okay.
I don't mind if I look stupid. I didn't cheat, and I didn't disrespect your wishes.
I get it. I am a cheater. I am a liar. I am a piece of shit. I get it.
It's okay.
It's okay. I get it. It's okay.
We've come to terms with it, and we're moving on from it because we're gonna be peaceful about this. You're gonna go your separate way, and I'm gonna go my separate way, and we're gonna be chill.
I don't want to go my separate way. That's the thing.
And I feel like if you didn't want to, you would have respected my wishes of not drinking. But that's just me, I guess.
Okay.
I feel like if you did really not want to go our separate ways, not cheating 1 but 2 times, and then
that was okay.
No, it doesn't matter how long ago it was. I'm not healed from it, and my healing is not based on your timeline. It doesn't help me heal when you lie about paying for your car, which you weren't paying for, and you lost your car. And then you lie about paying your credit card bill. You never paid your credit card bill.
Mm-hmm.
And then you lied about saving up money for a new car. And then you spent a whole summer telling me you had money saved up when you didn't because you bought this. So.
Hold on. Pan out again.
I know you want it to look so great. No. It's fine. I should have taken the 1001 red flags you've shown at me, and it's my fault for not taking those red flags. It's okay. But I really wish you...
The fact that you're trying to sit here and play yourself as such a fucking saint and a martyr is... I'm
not saying I'm a saint. I'm just saying this is my... I'm definitely not a saint. That's
what are you?
I'm a woman, and I have been through a lot. Who has what? Been through a lot? Stood by your side while you cheated on me, and while you sat around not getting like your GED or going to college or doing anything, but while you were mad at me because I'm a little bit further in life because I have a degree and I have a good job. You stayed salty for me because of that, but you wouldn't do any of the things I was telling you to do to better yourself. And now it comes full circle. You had 2 DUIs and I still accepted you. I still took you in. I still loved you. And here you are drinking again.
On Facebook?
Oh, I'll put it on TikTok if I have to. I don't care. But 3 years down the road, after you were sober, I got sober for you so that we could help each other because that's what partners do.
For me, I never asked you to get sober.
And you didn't have to. That's the thing.
But
you didn't have to.
But you're gonna sit there and flaunt it in my face. So the thing is, I got sober, right? You got sober cold sober
to get
fuck through. You. Hold on, I got sober. You didn't at the start. I never asked you to. I got sober. I got stone cold sober for 2 years because I wanted to. I finished my state requirements. I never asked you to do a dang thing. I never asked you to.
You didn't have to.
But I never asked you to.
And that's fine. But you
I
didn't.
never asked you to.
That's fine.
You could have done whatever the heck you wanted.
I could have, but I chose to support my partner.
I never asked you to.
And that's fine. You don't have to ask me to support my partner.
I never
Apparently,
asked
I
you
have to ask you not to drink and just have some basic respect.
You should have asked me if I wanted to drink again.
Clearly, you did.
Of course I did.
And you're probably going to again.
Yeah, I'm going to again.
Yeah, and that's the problem. Because you have a problem.
I don't think
You
I have
have
a problem.
My mother, who has been here for 2 days,
Mhm.
has already gathered that you have a problem.
Oh.
We all, like, Jessica knows you have a problem. Tyler even knows you have a problem. My mother knows you have a problem. Everybody knows you have a fucking problem. And you are the only person. And you know what? That is part of the things they teach you in AA, is that you can't fix the problem or whatever until you admit you have a problem. And that's okay. You're not even at step 1 yet. It's okay. But
Of course, I'm not at step 1. Okay.
no, I feel like you would know this because you've been through AA.
Can I have my rent money back so I can call myself a lift home?
Oh no, that's already spent.
Oh yeah, I bet.
That's already
The
spent.
money I've given into this place, I can't have back, so I can't leave. So
Yeah,
I'm gonna stay
how much
here.
money was it to get us in the door, and whose pocket did it come out of that time?
About $1,000 of my own.
Okay, and what about the last 2 places? Or the last place, I should say.
We're gonna go backwards. It was all yours.
Yeah, the last place was all mine.
But for this home, it was mine. So I would like to have my money back, so I could at least go home.
That's
Can I
wonderful.
please have that?
You cannot because I don't have it.
Of course. Yes, you do. Can I please have that back?
I don't have it.
So I will. Okay. So I can't have the money that I put in for the last month, that $450. I can't have that back.
No, because it's spent on the rent.
No, it's not. It's sitting in your savings account.
It's
So can I please have
actually
that
not.
back?
It's actually not though, and I'm happy to show you, but it's not there because
So where
it
is
was because it got put towards the. You remember how we were just talking about this earlier? This pay period right now, this week, that goes to the August rent, and then the next pay period is the other half of August rent. So there's no money set aside. We haven't gotten paid yet.
Okay.
There's only
Crazy.
the money that was already put
Okay.
towards, because it's what date is it? It's July 14th, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
it's a Wednesday. I know what day it is. I'm not too inebriated.
that's great, but like when you submit a payment on the 1st, when does it usually come out of your bank account? So would it come out
comes
before?
out on a Thursday, and I would happily wish that you would have done this tomorrow night. Then that I could at least wait until an ungodly hour into Thursday.
Like I said, I'm not going to require you to do anything you don't want to do right now, but I'm just saying that
We're done.
I don't know what you expect. Do you want me to sit by your side while you continue to disrespect me?
No, I just want you to know. Just let me know. We're done.
I already said
We're done. All right, cool. I love you.
no.
And I'm
You
so
don't.
sorry that I wasn't the person that you wanted, and
I don't think that you do love me, and I wish you would stop lying to me about that. Because if you did,
The thing is, I'm not lying, and that sucks because you have issues. I have issues.
I know I have issues. That's because I keep
Again,
getting
you're
cheated
getting
on people.
defensive. You're getting
I'm not
defensive.
actually getting defensive at all. I'm agreeing with you. I said I do have issues too.
And so I wish I would have recorded all of your anger fits and throwing shit and wanting to get physical. But I didn't, because I know that you've got some things going on upstairs, and I didn't sit there and record you because I love you, and that's not fair. But I don't hold it against you. Because, sure, I have a drinking problem. God, it feels so good. I have a drinking problem, and, maybe I shouldn't be here. And hello, TikTok. All the females. Yeah, no, I am not a man that deserves to be loved. I am not a man that deserves to be cherished. I am a cheater. I do some very shitty things. I'm very self-centered. I only think about myself because in the end, my happiness is the most important. So I will thrive. I will survive. I will finish my GED on my own. Anything else that I need to...
You didn't need to vent all of that, but you know.
I mean, you're gonna put her on TikTok anyway, so what's the point? You're gonna have all these females on your side saying, you know, fuck yeah, on 100%, dump that loser. You know, hashtag that, dump that loser. But at the end of the day, I'm a grown-ass man. If I tell you that, hey, I threw up last night, I'm not gonna throw up tonight. And I sit here and we can watch a movie.
Hey,
and I can...
Quick question though. What was the difference between Sunday night when you threw up in the bed and tonight? What's the biggest difference?
Eating, actually. Eating.
Close, but the biggest difference is that my child wasn't here.
Oh, yikes, yes, yeah, she wasn't here.
So
because you had a whole fight with your baby daddy, who you probably want to go back to. Anyways, actually no, that's not true. That's not true. I'm sorry. I'm being mean. No, you don't want to go back to him. He's a piece of shit. No, you're right. She wasn't here. Tonight she was here. And so I took the liberty of overeating at work, and then coming home, having a few beers, taking my GED practice test. Fucking aced it.
Right, but
anyways,
I mentioned that I don't like drinking in front of my kids, right?
Yes, you did.
And at the very least, you could have respected them.
I could have.
And you did. So
I
that's...
did not. No.
Okay, so what is there to excuse?
Nothing at all.
Okay, then that's all we needed to discuss.
Fantastic.
This whole rant you're going on is unnecessary.
It's official. I just broke up with my boyfriend, and it's so much crazier than you think, because no, we actually didn't break up because I posted videos. We broke up because apparently this man never wanted a committed, serious relationship with me. So long story short, basically it accidentally came up, but he was like saying that he wants a baby with a surrogate and that he's gonna co-parent with his nanny and his parents. And I was like, what? I was like, so why are we dating? Why did you choose to date me in the first place? And he's like, well, because I love you. And I'm like, no, you don't freaking love me. Like, what? And he's like, well, I do. It's just not the type of relationship I want. So I don't know. I don't know. I just need a break from everything. I'll tell you everything later.
Let me put you on my business real quick. So when I was like 18 or 19, I was in a relationship with this boy, okay? And we were so serious. He was from the East. We were so serious. So we had lived together and everything. We lived together in Hammond, and we lived together in the East, and at the time we were Chanel Creek or whatever. I had to live with his people. You know, he had to stay with my mama for a short spurt of time. Like, it was serious. So after we lived in Chanel Creek and I moved back with my mom, he moved back with his mom in the East, you know, we was like, the apartment was, I guess, too much. I don't really remember why it was $500 a month. I really don't remember why the fuck we moved. But anyway, I stayed with my mama, and then my cousin was like, oh, I got an apartment. You know, I'm about to move out and go do my own thing if you want to stay in this apartment. So I was like, fucking right. So I'm in an apartment by myself, and, you know, because we still in a relationship, I'm like, well, why you don't want to just move here? It don't make no sense. He was like, oh, I'm going to be too far away from my mama and all this and all that. And I was like, okay, well, I guess that makes sense, kind of. So this one particular day, it was early in the morning or whatever, and I'm minding my business, cleaning my house, doing my thing, blasting my music, and I get a text message from his sister. It's probably like 8 a.m. And I'm like, what the fuck? Me and his sister was real close, though. She like, that's you in the room? That's me in the room. Bitch, I'm on the West Bank. I'm on the way. Don't worry about it. So I text my best friend. Slipped on some shorts, slipped on a little t-shirt, slipped on some tennis shoes. I text my best friend, I'm like, bitch, I need you to come get me. So she comes to get me, no questions asked. No fucking questions asked. She lived in the East, no questions asked. Came to the West Bank, got me, brought me to the East. I go to the house, I'm like, fuck, what am I going to tell him to get him outside or whatever? So he had my card, and I was like, I guess we had got into it a little bit, I don't remember, but I called him and I was like, bring my debit card outside. And he was like, all right, hold up. I'm knowing there's a bitch in the room. I'm already knowing. So I'm like, no, I'm going to come to the door and I'm going to get it. Or I'm going to come inside and get it. He like, no, I'm going to bring it outside. I'm like, no, I'm going to come get it. So we go back and forth with that. I go knock on the door. I knock on the door. This bitch cracked the door open, trying to slide his hand out. I pulled that motherfucking door so fast, went to whopping that bitch upside his head. I don't promote domestic violence. I don't do that. So his mama comes screaming from the back. She like, no, Raven, stop, Raven, stop. I'm like, ain't no fucking Raven, stop. Y'all got a bitch in the house. So she come outside and she talked to me, and this was a real woman-to-woman situation where she just was like, he ain't shit. You know he ain't shit. Why are you sitting here with him? That don't make no sense. So I'm like, you know what? You right. You right. Did I leave? No.
I got divorced at 22 and married at 18, and here's another story from that relationship. So 2 pieces of context are required. First and foremost, before me and my husband started dating in high school, he was dating another girl. He dated her for 2 months. That was it. 2 months. Okay? Number 2, he was in the Air Force, which required him out of high school to go to basic training, which was 7 to 8-ish weeks, I believe. And he could have no cell phone usage except for 1 cell phone call a week, but he could write letters. Okay? Remember that. So fast forward to 7 months into our marriage, the registration on our car has expired, and he needs to get it for the state that we currently live in, which requires him to have his birth certificate. So when he goes to the registration office, he texts me and he goes, hey, I need you to look for my birth certificate. And I go, okay. So I open the safe, which has all of his documents and all of the important stuff that he keeps, including all the letters that I wrote to him during basic training. So I'm scrounging through this, and I see in the corner of my eye a very familiar name that I seem to know. I pick it up, I open it up. It is a letter to his ex-girlfriend that he dated for what is 2 months. Okay, 2 months. And this letter reads as such. Hey, blank, I had a lot of time to think about how our relationship ended, and I really miss you, and I love you, and I would do anything, and I would leave me in a heartbeat. I'm only with her because her family's nice, which is crazy if you've ever met my family. And I love you, and I would do anything to be with you. So I immediately go into the bathroom and lock the door. I am sobbing uncontrollably. I call my best friend. My best friend goes, it was a long time ago, don't worry about it, it probably means nothing. Okay, so he comes home, I'm cooking dinner. As he walks through the door, I open the letter and I slowly read him the entire thing. He starts chasing me around the house going, I don't know, I don't remember writing it. I don't remember writing it. Oh my God. Okay, so I forgive him and I go, you know what, it was a long time ago, and I don't understand why you're so infatuated with a girl that you dated for 2 months who, by all accounts, was actually really terrible to you. So now fast forward another week. We have a shared iPad at our house. On the shared iPad, I was going through some stuff, and I went to the beginning of the pictures because it was synced with his phone. In the beginning of the pictures, I see that there is a picture of the letter that was taken over a year ago, and it says the tag Instagram, which means he took it on Instagram, which meant he sent it to her, which means the only reason that he had married me was because this girl, who by all accounts actually never liked him and they only dated for 2 months and she had been well moved on, said no. So that was like the worst thing to find out, and I still stayed with him for 3 years after. I got divorced at 22 and married at 18, and this is when and why I left. So when I left was about right after the 3rd year wedding anniversary mark. And why was that all of the excuses that I had for staying with him just no longer applied. I no longer, one of the reasons that I stayed with him was that I didn't want to be seen as someone to be pitied when I told people I had been going through this. And actually, most people in my life don't know I went through what I did. So it's very odd. I'm a very private person, which is odd because I'm on here talking about it. But most people in my private life have no idea what happened. They think that we got divorced because he cheated. That's only part of the story of what happened. And I genuinely got to a point where I thought, if I never have to talk to my parents again, my parents are super religious, they don't agree with divorce, then that would be better than having to stay with him for the rest of my life, because I was miserable. Our house was like a hoarder house, genuinely, because he never cleaned, he was fucking filthy, and I was working 2 jobs and getting 2 degrees, and I could not keep up with it. And then when I left I ended up joining the military, I know, crazy, after he left. I had been gone for months. I came back, the house was, I cannot describe to you how fucking disgusting it was. And he was living in filth and squalor
And I will forgive him for literally almost everything. I have forgiven him for almost every single thing that he's done to me, but I will never forgive him for anything he did to the animals, and that was letting them live in that filth. He should have never done that. He should have been on top of it. He blamed me for his alcoholism. He blamed me for everything because I initiated this divorce. But genuinely, those were the reasons. That was one of the top reasons. He never fucking listened. He never fucking cleaned. I was in charge of fucking everything. He would never pull his weight, no matter what. And I definitely will keep this going and tell more stories. I just really don't know what I can and can't say on TikTok. There are some that are a little bit more violent than others, and so I have to go through and figure out what I need to redact. And I'm never going to share any personal information. I don't want anyone to find him. I hope he lives his best life. I hope he goes on to do whatever the fuck he wants to do. He doesn't occupy my head that much anymore. I don't really think about him except when I'm telling these stories. But yeah, there was no reason for me. It got to a point and I was tired and I was like, there's no reason for me to stay with you. I actually almost left him before. I almost moved to Boston. And then I just couldn't do it because I couldn't not talk to my family, and I didn't want to have to tell everyone I knew that I was getting a divorce and that I was a fucking failure. And then it got to a point where I go, I'm not a failure, he's a failure. And even if everyone points the finger and blames it at me, which a lot of fucking people in my life do, they blame it on me and say that I was a terrible person and I did all this and that I'm the one who initiated the divorce. I know inside that it was him. And this would have never happened if he didn't do the shit he did. And if you're going through the same fucking shit, I pray for you. And I hope that you leave, because no one, no gender, no person is worth wasting your life for.
Divorced at 22 and married at 18. And here's another story from that relationship. This one does require a trigger warning. There will be mentions of a knife. It is nothing graphic though. Okay, so about a year into our relationship, we had an argument over something. I don't remember what it was. But all I remember was I walked back into the bedroom and I had accidentally flinged the door, which caused it to slam, which really pissed him off, okay? So between me walking to the middle of the room and turning around, he had already started running through the house and kicking down the door. He broke the door. He then comes into the room, he pulls his pocket knife out of his pant pocket, and it was open. And what I assume was he meant to, I don't know, threaten me with it, but he doesn't have very good aim. And it hit way over there. Like, I'm standing here and he threw it that way. It did cause a dent in the wall, which I had to repair before I moved out of the apartment. But he then proceeds to look me straight in the eyes and go, "You are nothing and you will always be nothing." Which is crazy coming from a 5'6", 230-pound man, okay? Then he proceeds to absolutely just pace the room screaming at me. He's just screaming. I get to a point where I'm finally sitting at the foot of the bed. He is still screaming, and he throws my phone at me and goes, "Call your fucking dad and come tell him to pick you up. See if he'll come pick you up." I didn't call my dad because I was hella embarrassed. So this proceeds for another 20 minutes before he calms down enough to say, "That was a test. I was testing you to see if you would call anyone," which meant that he was actually just testing my boundaries to see if I would care enough for anyone to come and get me.
Imagine having to co-parent with a nigga and his Super Saiyan side bitch that just couldn't bear to lose her nigga to his baby mama. So listen, me and the nigga decided we're gonna try to make it work for the kid. Okay, cool. We tried it. We was together. The whole time, I cut my niggas off. He ain't cut his bitches off. He did. Initially, he did. He showed me the messages. The bitch was mad. The bitch was salty. The bitch went the fuck in. Dog this shit. Period. As you should. Then, fast forward, all of a sudden, now the bitch want to be Super Saiyan side bitch. The bitch is making lunches, breakfasts, inviting them over for fucking brunch and lunch and dinner and cooking steaks and all type of shit. The bitch was going out her way to be out her fucking way. And one thing about it, I'ma always lose to a bitch that pay niggas. 'Cause listen, I ain't doing it. Fast forward, the bitch pays for a trip for him on his birthday. Cool. He lies to me, acts like he's going on a trip with his friends. Cool. I'm not a dumb bitch. Cool. I already knew he was on bullshit immediately. I already knew what the fuck going on. So I'm pissed, overly pissed. So I'm going in, I'm doing all the shit to prevent him to be able to leave this day. It's a whole fiasco. And he mad as fuck at me because I'm mad as fuck at him. Where do you think you're going? You got me fucked up. He trying to act like he leaving, going out of town with his niggas. I'm not dumb. I know you're trying to go somewhere for your birthday out of town with a bitch. Because you're not going to spring no information on me the day of and act like I'm fucking stupid. And I believe that's what's actually happening. Is we cool? So cool. This nigga act like he's so fucking irritated and annoyed with me for being so overly vigilant and understanding of what the fuck is going on and not trying to let no nigga play in my face. So, okay, fuck it. I just ain't going nowhere because you on bullshit. And acting so overly annoyed with me. Okay, cool. So he take off all this shit, lay down, fucks me. Literally. On his phone, though. I feel him behind me on his phone, like texting. A bitch texting him talking about she about to pull up. Because according to him, her words was, oh, you got me fucked up. If I'm not happy, nobody's going to be happy. So the bitch was planning to pull up and create chaos because he was telling her, I can't go because she done caught on and the shit ain't gonna happen. So she was so sorry. She just like, I ain't waste all my money. Hell no. If I can't be Super Saiyan side, bitch. That's what she did. So he's fucking me with a phone in his hand, texting this bitch, seeing her location that she's actually driving back to where we at. We finished doing what the fuck we doing. I go get in the shower. This nigga, I can see him from the shower randomly pacing back and forth looking for clothes. Mind you, I hid his clothes. When he first took off his clothes, I hear that shit. He's pacing back and forth, like talking out loud, like, where the fuck my pants? I can hear him. Like, I really wasn't thinking like he really about to. Cause I thought the shit was over with. Now, like, I ain't thinking about trying to fucking leave now. I'm in the shower. All of a sudden, next thing you know, this nigga leave. I'm like, what the fuck? Next thing you know, this nigga text me something. I'll be back. Next thing you know, you got me fucked up. This nigga really left with a bitch and went on vacation for the weekend while me and his son is in his house. After he just fucked me. Really left. And went on vacation with a bitch. And I left after that. I was completely done. Because you are retarded. Huh? What? I'm still... Mind you, fast forward a year later, the nigga is engaged to the bitch. Mind you, now I gotta send my son over there with her and her 25 kids to co-parent my son with him. A lot of y'all was trying to say, like, she did what she was supposed to do. And that shit lost me. Because I'm like, in what world do a nigga play in my face and tell me that he don't want to fuck with me no more? Because it wouldn't be fair to me. Because he about to try to work on his family. And that's what he doing right now. So, yeah. You be cool while you be cool. And just start catering to the nigga and going above and beyond out my fucking way to do all type of shit for this nigga as if he's deserving of that. Are y'all slow? Like, what is we talking about? How? This not even a nigga that deserves that type of treatment is my whole thing. If you want to be the type of bitch that's doing all type of shit for niggas, like that's your thing, okay, cool. You got a whole starter pack. Every nigga you talk to get a car, a few bands, and a Rolex, period. That's your shit. Okay, cool. But let it be a nigga that's worth it. Let it be a nigga that's not gonna play in your face. Let it be a nigga that's not gonna embarrass you. Let it be a nigga that's not a liar and a cheater and a woman beater. Let it be a nigga that this shit makes sense. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's my whole thing. Like, yes, I said I'm not a bitch that pay niggas because I'm not. It's bitches that go into any and every relationship that they fucking have and they're doing the same shit for every fucking nigga because they think that's how they able to keep a fucking nigga. I'm not that bitch. If you're not sticking around for me and not what the fuck I can do for you, then don't fucking stick around. I don't give a fuck. I don't have those type of issues. Like, normally if a nigga like me, he fucking like me. And then we gonna work towards, I'ma see how this shit go. I'ma see what type of nigga you is. And if I feel like doing some shit because you're a good nigga, I'ma do some shit. Like, I'm not saying I'm opposed to do anything for a nigga. That's not what I was saying. I'm just saying that I'm just not a bitch that's just gonna give away money, give away anything that I don't feel you're deserving of just to be fucking cuz I'm trying to win some shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, cause the shit just don't even make no fucking sense. Like, and on top of that, this shit ain't even an equal. What is you doing for me? Like, what? The bitch was going out her way to antagonize me on the internet. The bitch was posting hella memes, talk about niggas, baby mamas this and baby mamas that, literally, clearly sneak dissing me. Subliminal messages. The bitch was posting videos of her and him on her Instagram stories. Motherfuckers sending me shit. Showing me all type, like, I'm talking about all type of shit. So this nigga gaslighting the fuck out of me, acting like I'm crazy and I don't see what the fuck I see, or I don't know what the fuck I know. So of course it's the whole thing. The thing with this nigga, he gonna take some shit to the grave. He's never gonna admit anything unless I have 100% solid proof. So boom, I take it upon myself to make sure I have proof, right? So I'm tracking this nigga car. I'm seeing this nigga stopping at her house. He worked third shift. He get off in the morning at 7 a.m. This nigga at her house at 7:20. I'm watching this nigga pull up in the driveway, get out the car, go put fucking Tupperware containers in his trunk, then come in the house. I go outside, I take the Tupperware out. This shit got full of breakfast. You got pork sausage, bacon, 25 pieces of fucking French toast, pancake. And I'm just like, I take this shit in the house, I open it up and throw this shit on the nigga. The fuck is this? Oh, I went over to my mama's house and got some breakfast. The fuck? Why the fuck is you hiding breakfast containers in your trunk if you went to your mama's house and got breakfast? Once I basically let him know that I knew that the fucking breakfast was from her house, and guess what he gonna say to me? Well, I mean, she offered me free breakfast. Why would I turn down free food? The nigga told me why would he turn down free food? That's why he was driving 20 minutes out his way to her house to go get breakfast in the morning. I just want y'all to understand the level of ridiculousness that I had endured. In what world would it fly if I was to say, oh, this nigga inboxed me, said he want to take me out on a dinner date, and I mean, like, I ain't about to turn on no free food. So yeah, I went. The fuck? He beat my fucking ass. Like, what? I dealt with bullshit for the entire 4 months that we tried to make it work. All up until I just couldn't deal with shit else. And the entire time, this silly ass bitch was purposely going out her way to try to antagonize me on the internet and let it be known that she is still fucking with my nigga. She thought it was cute. Part 2 of imagine having to co-parent with your baby daddy and his super saiyan side bitch. So this is the text message he sent me. He explained his mindset basically in that situation and what he chose to do and why. Pause to read. Now I'm mad. Now I want revenge. Now I don't got time to wait on karma, bitch. I'm coming for your head, bitch. I owe you a hard time. So the next thing I move on to is anger. Revenge. So yeah, that's what I did. I started being very blatantly obvious shit was going on my social media platforms because I know for a fact the bitch is watching me. Cause duh.
6 years ago today, I got divorced from the most evil man that I have ever met. So I thought it could be fun to go over his lore and tell you about some of the craziest things that he did. Right after we got married, he told me I was no longer allowed to go out to eat with my dad because that was inappropriate, and he was the man in my life now. If we were in the middle of an argument or he just thought I needed to be punished, he would lock the car door. So he'd be sitting inside, lock it, and I would just be please let me in, and eventually he would. When my family came to visit and they didn't know that he was crazy, and we were playing Monopoly, and he was really upset that he was losing. So at one point he said, "Here, take all my stuff," and he like stormed off, and I kind of had to laugh it off and be like, he's so silly, and then go talk to him and try to smooth everything out. He also sabotaged my half marathon, so it was something I had really trained for a long time. I was dealing with a chronic illness, so this was a big accomplishment. And he ended up picking a fight the night before, and he wouldn't let me sleep. He said we couldn't let the sun go down on our anger, ripped the covers off of me, and I got a couple hours of sleep before my half marathon. We also shared a car when we were married, so whenever he was mad, he would take the car right when I had to go to work. That way I would be stranded and that I would lose my job. So I called his mom and I would cry and I would say, please tell your son to bring back the car. And she was able to get through to him because she was funding his life. So yeah, that really did work out for me. When we got married, the topic of life insurance came up, and he decided to tell me that he thought that he was never going to die and he was going to live forever. When I said that, I mean, that's never happened before, he said that he was going to be the first, and if he did happen to die, that I would raise him from the dead. On our way to our friend's house, we ended up going for drinks. I got a couple drinks because I knew I wasn't gonna have to drive. So while we're there, he ends up picking a fight, and then he pulls over on the side of the road. He gets out and walks away. And then there are police cars driving past me, and I was really afraid that I was going to get arrested and that they would think that I was driving the car while under the influence. So I was calling and he wouldn't answer. So after years of abuse, I was really feeling it and not doing well and breaking down a lot and having panic attacks. And he told me that I needed to stop crying, because if I didn't stop crying, he was going to have me committed to a mental hospital. And because he was my husband, he was going to sign me away and make sure that I never got out. He freaked out when I shared a bite of my Disney World burger with my cousin because he said that was disrespectful to him as the man at the table. And then after that, he ended up strangling me based on this situation. And he fell to the floor and he said, "Oh no, I feel like such a bad guy." He hated my cousin who would text me around 9:30 p.m. and he said that it was really inappropriate that my cousin was texting me at that time of night because I'm married. So on our honeymoon, my grandpa got really sick and we weren't sure if he was going to make it. So I was calling my mom maybe a couple times a day just to check in and see how he was doing. So I was sitting in the car crying about how sad I was that I may not be able to say goodbye to my grandpa. And he said that it was so inappropriate that my family was contacting me about this, and that yeah, I should just not feel sad that my grandpa was dying. I had a chronic illness at this time, and one thing that really made it a lot worse and would set me up for days of pain is if I didn't get enough sleep, and he knew that. So I was on this sleeping medicine, and I would take it, and I pretty much had a window of 10 to 20 minutes to fall asleep, or else it was gonna start wearing off. So he would pick a fight the second that I would take my sleeping medicine, because he knew that I would not be able to get sleep and I would be in a lot of pain. And actually one time he even tried to flush my entire medication down the toilet. On the same vacation as the Disney World burger incident, we were all trying to get fast passes for this new ride, and he said that he got it and he was gonna get it for us. So he woke up and only got it for himself and lied and said that it wasn't available, but then he ended up saying, no, actually I could have gotten it for all of us, but I only chose to get it for myself. So we sat in the car for a couple hours while he got to go ride the new ride by himself. What an evil, 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 evil man. And honestly, this isn't even the worst of it. It gets a lot darker, but I'm just very happy to be divorced. It's honestly the best thing in the whole world. And yeah, 6 years. 6 years today, very happy.
A lot of boy moms are straight up birds and straight weirdos. Hey y'all, I'm Lily, and my boyfriend's mom helped him cheat on me. Yes. Let me explain what happened. Y'all already know with my story times, I tell you guys who is who, what is what, and what's tea. Let's get right into it, y'all. This is another story time about Thomas the Train. If you're new here, Thomas the Train is one of my ex-boyfriends. I call him Thomas the Train because this man has a round head, a fat face, and he has big old eyes. He literally looks like Thomas the Train, y'all, like, for real. But we're gonna call him Tommy for short. And today I'm introducing Tommy's mom, who we're going to call Eagle. We're gonna call her Eagle because eagles are Big bald birds. I don't think I need to elaborate. This story took place back in 2019. This was the beginning of me and Tommy's relationship. It honestly should have been the end. So during this time period, I don't know what was in the air, y'all, but me and Tommy were fighting like cats and dogs. Okay, we were beefing like actual enemies. I don't know what that was about. This was the beginning of the relationship, so like, why are y'all already fighting so much? It should have been done there. So I remember one day I had told Tommy, you know what, I'm done. I'm done fighting with you. I'm not going back and forth with you. I want to break up. And y'all, Tommy literally was like,
okay, fine, if that's what you want, that's fine, we could break up.
that was a red flag immediately, because one thing about Tommy never left me alone. Okay, if you know, you know. Okay, Tommy used to straight up say no. So I was like, why is he giving in so easily? I literally remember just staring at the phone for a second, because I was like, okay, yeah, you want some weird shit. So I remember I had just hung up on him. But like, y'all, the more I was sitting and thinking about the fact that he just said okay to me breaking up with him, like, I was like, something is not right. So I remember I had called him later and I was like, I'm coming to get my stuff. And he was like,
oh, I'm not home right now, and by the time I get home, it's gonna be late. So you can just come tomorrow.
Tomorrow? So I'm like, where is Eagle at? She's not home? He talking about,
no, she's not home. She at her boyfriend's house.
so I'm like, okay, is your brother home? He talking about,
My brother is not home.
yeah. His brother didn't have no job, no friends, no girlfriend, not a pot to fucking piss in. That man did not used to leave the fucking house. So I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna come another day, knowing damn well I was about to get my ass right in that car and zoom straight to his house, because you're lying. This day, I just felt it in my bones, y'all. And so I remember I had like waited like an hour, because I literally had sat at my house, y'all, gaslighting myself, even though I knew Tommy was a liar. Tommy used to lie about air and water. Like, them big ass eyes would get real like shifty, and he would just lie straight through them big ass teeth of his. Like, he wasn't even a good liar, y'all. Like, he used to say anything. So I was like, you know what? No, I'm going over there. I pull up to his house, and I already think y'all know whose broke down, raggedy ass, scraped up ass car I see front and center. Tommy's. So not only do I see Tommy's car, but I see Eagle's raggedy ass car too. You're a liar. So I get out the car and I'm walking up to the door. Girl, my heart is pounding. So I get to the door. I'm knocking on the door. There's no answer. So I knock again, and this time I hear whispering. I can't make out what's being said, but I can hear Eagle's voice. So I start calling both of them, and neither one of them are answering their phone. I can literally hear them whispering through the door. So Eagle opens the door finally, and she's like, hey, Lily, you didn't tell me you were coming? Not once have I ever called this lady to ever tell her that I was ever coming to her house. So I try and immediately like walk past her to go to the back, like where Tommy's room is. And she's like, Lily, come in my room. Like, I want to show you what I bought today. I'm not gonna lie, this wasn't out the ordinary, because like she would always call me in her room to show me things that she bought, like when she went shopping. So I was like, but when I got in her room, she closed the door. She don't ever close her door, like ever. It's always wide open. So she's showing me the stuff that she bought or whatever. And I'm not gonna lie, at a point, it seemed like she just started pulling shit out her ass, y'all. Like, cause she needed to stall. So I ended up telling her, like, you know, I just came to grab something really quickly from Tommy. I'm in a rush right now. And so I try to leave. Do y'all know that this big ass lady jumped her ass in front of her door and was like,
you can't go out there.
What? She's like,
him and his brother are back there. They're about to take something out, and I don't want you to see it.
Bitch, am I 5? And what the fuck are they taking out? Is it a body? Like, what are you talking about right now? So I told her, like, I have to go. So at this point, she's literally ignoring me, okay? But she's still standing in front of her door. So I go to the window in her room, because he literally would have to, like, walk past her window to get to his car. If he didn't walk past the window, he would have to walk all the way around his building. Do y'all know that this lady called her son and said,
take the long way because she's standing at the window.
You a op for real. I got so mad, y'all, and I literally just started going off on her. So I just started telling her, like, you are not only a poor excuse for a mother, but for a woman. How dare you help this man cheat on me and you smile in my face every single day? I literally started calling her all types of weirdos to her face. Like, and I honestly, to this day, I don't regret it, because what the fuck is wrong with you? So then she starts yelling back and she's like,
don't disrespect me in my house. Your attitude is always so nasty, and that's why he's cheating on you now.
Bitch. So I was like, yeah, and that's why his dad cheated on you and had 2 babies on you. And she was like,
why would you say something like that? Have you lost your mind?
And so I just started laughing. One thing about me, when I get nervous or if I'm like in an uncomfortable situation, like I start laughing. So I start laughing and she's like, and you think this is funny? You think this is funny? And so she's just yelling at this point. She's going on and on and on. So while she's in the middle of her yelling, I hear the front door slam. I have never used all my might to push somebody so big out the way. I literally pushed her and I ran straight through that front door. Y'all, why when I get outside do I see Tommy and a girl running to his car? So I'm standing there looking stupid, mouth just open wide, just looking dumb. Like, I could not believe my eyes. Like, I knew he was on some fuckery, but like somewhere in the back of my mind, I still was like in denial. So I started to like run a little bit in their direction, and then I just stopped because I was like, what the fuck am I doing? Like, so they ended up getting in the car and then they just sped off. So I'm just standing there just dumbfounded because I could not believe this was happening. I remember going back in the house to get my purse, and I remember Eagle just standing there looking so stupid. I had rolled my eyes so hard at her and I was like, you were just so disgusting. And then I just got my stuff and left. So Tommy calls me later on that night. I don't even know why I answered, y'all. He talking about,
I know it looks bad, but that girl, she lives in my apartment building. She just had to use the restroom. And I know you be tripping. Like, I know you was gonna go crazy if you seen a girl in the house.
all I could do was laugh, y'all. Because what? So I'm like, why did your mom tell me that you were cheating on me then? Y'all, the phone went dead silent. He talking about,
oh, you know my mom. She just be saying anything. She just be talking.
Y'all, I hung up in his face because don't play with me. Me and Tommy did stay broken up, but we did get back together after like 2 months of our breakup. I know. I have so many stories about Tommy and Eagle and also the nonsense that I was doing during that breakup time. But we're going to get into all of that later. I realized a lot of boy moms are really coddlers and enablers to grown-ass men, and it's really disgusting and disturbing. So what did we learn today, y'all? If you're breaking up with somebody, stand on it because you're doing it for a reason. That man's mom is not your friend, okay? She's going to ride for her son every time. And 3, beat his mama up. I'm just playing. Anyway. Stay blessed. Bye, y'all.
In one of my previous videos, I talked about how I was a former cheat backer, okay? That was kind of my healing journey. Once my marriage was being blown up and I was finding out all this man's secrets, double, triple, and quadruple lives that he was living. For me at that time, cheating back was the only option. That was the only option on the table. I did not want to play big. I didn't want to be the bigger person. I didn't want to just walk away and leave. It was, oh, okay, I'm going to get you back. I'm going to hurt you. So yes, I did cheat back, right? And what cheating back taught me about that man, which I'm so glad I did it, is that he wanted to be the only villain in the story. As long as he was the only villain in the story, he was cool. He was content. He really thought, not only did he think, but he wanted me to be a damsel in distress. He thought he married a damsel in distress. And I can see why he would think that. He probably thought that because he got away with so much for so long. He was able to manipulate and lie and have all these secrets for so long. And he felt like, oh, I got this in the bag. You know what I mean? She's a goofy. I could play her. And I was a goofy for a very long time. He's right. And so I think once everything started to blow up and I was finding out all of these things about this man, he thought I was going to like sit in a corner and cry and not eat and wither away. He really thought I was going to be a damsel in distress, right? And so unfortunately for him, That's not at all who I was. I was very much oh, okay, bet. Now I'm going to be the supervillain in this story. Now, mind you, this man had been cheating our entire marriage, okay? This man had been cheating the entire time we had been together, okay? Serial cheater is really an understatement for what he was, okay? And the moment he found out that one man touched me, I'll never forget, he was crying, like bawling real tears, bent over, knees up, talking about, please don't ever hurt me like this again, baby. Please don't ever hurt me like this. Hurts so bad. This hurts so bad. Please promise me you'll never do me like this ever again. Please. This is coming from a man who's been cheating his entire marriage. And his tactic was to try to manipulate and control the situation by bringing God into it. This man told me that God showed him a vision of our lives and how happy we were going to be and that we were going to be stronger than ever. And he said, I just need you to trust me. I need you to trust me. And I need you to change your number. And I need you to never talk to anybody ever again. God told me to leave your ass. Matter of fact, God told me that I wasn't even supposed to marry you. So what are you talking about? Mind you, all of it was manipulation and just him trying to gaslight me to control the situation. And I said, no, I'm gonna keep popping my coochie. I am. I'm gonna keep popping it on that man. And that's what I did. And when I tell you the level of anger and rage that came out of this man, I had never seen in all the years I had been with him. That's one thing he had never displayed. I had never seen anger or aggression come from him until this moment. And I said, oh, this is interesting because it was okay when you were cheating the entire marriage. You cheated the entire marriage. And now you're punching holes in the wall. You're going crazy and you're losing your mind. And what I realized at that moment was that, oh, you were fine with our life being the way it was as long as you were the only villain in the story. As long as you were villainizing me, you were good. But the moment you met the supervillain, oh, you weren't ready. You weren't ready. That man wanted to villainize me, and he expected me to sit around and be a damsel in distress. And this is why I personally do not believe in taking a serial cheater back. I don't do it, because they are always content. All you're doing is showing them that they can continue to play with you, and they're not going to stop. They're just going to get better at cheating. But that man was comfortable being a villain in my life. The moment I became a supervillain in his, he was losing his shit.
Y'all, now that I'm in a new relationship, it made me realize just how toxic my past relationship was. So let's do a little series where I start telling you about all the toxic shit that me and my ex, who's also my baby daddy, used to do to each other. Okay, so boom. Let's take this back to when I was 19 years old. So I was 19, my ex was 21. And we had just bought like new cars. We bought like matching cars. So I went buy me a blue Malibu and he went buy the same Malibu, but he bought his in white. So we had the same cars. So we would get into it like real bad and break up a lot. Like we was on and off. So we had got into it real fucking bad, and to the point we broke up. We went together no more. He packed up. He left. Cool. Also, excuse my voice because I am sick, so that's why I sound like real nasally. But yeah, anyways, so we got into it real bad, you know, we broke up, but like we text each other back and forth, you know, just hot shit, fussing, you know. And he ended up like telling me how he was going back at me, his ex. I'm telling him that's cool because I'm about to go meet this other nigga too. Like, but it's like, who cares? Like, baby, who cares? So like we was talking shit. He ended up blocking me because I told him I was gonna meet that nigga that I was getting ready to go on a date right now. So yeah, I'm in the house. I'm doing my hair. I'm getting dressed. You know, I'm looking all cute. You know, I'm ready to make a nigga mad. Why I come outside, get in my car, start my car, and my lights on the dash flicking something, looking like, talking about my tire pressure, like. So I'm looking at my tires. This nigga just that fast came stabbed 2 of my tires. Flat my shit. So the people that stayed across from me had cameras, like a ring camera, like on the front of the house that pointed like across the street to my shit. So I would see Like, I want to watch this camera. I want to see this shit. And kid you not, this nigga had pulled up with the whole another bitch to come stab my tires on some quick little shit. That's how bird brain you bitches is. Like, you really pulled up, we get a nigga and brought this nigga to come slide and stab his baby mama tires. Which I wasn't his baby mama then, because we didn't have kids yet. I got pregnant right after the fact. Stupid, I know. But bird brain, because girl, you're dumb. You're bringing a nigga to go worry about another bitch. Idiot. So boom. So I know if he in a car with this bitch, he not in his car. Cool. I call up my brother-in-law. Like, brother-in-law, come pull up right here right quick. He pull up and I have him jack my car up, take my 2 flats off, put it in his trunk. Bet. Now we going to find this nigga car. We get to his car. Of course it's parked. He not in it because he slide with a bitch. Cool. Jacked his shit up. Because mind y'all, I told y'all we got the same car. Just different colors. Jacked his shit up, took 2 tires off of his, put my flats on his car, took his tires and would put them on my car, and I still wouldn't do what the fuck I had to do because, bitch, what do you think you was stopping? What did you think you were doing by stabbing my tires, boo? And like, that's just like one of the many petty things, petty toxic ass things that me and this nigga would do to each other. And it ain't nothing compared to some other stuff that we be doing. But if y'all want to hear more about that, let me know.
Story time of how I walked in on my ex cheating on me on my birthday. Yes, my birthday. I waited years to make this video and I finally can, so let's just get into it. So I went to LSU and I was dating this football player. I was with this person for almost 3 years. My ex was a serial cheater. All you had to do was have a vagina and he was in there. But I didn't know this. So when we first got together, my delusional oh, he loves me. Best friend, he told me he loved me. Oh, he brought me Chick-fil-A. That's how it was. Like the first few months, I was on cloud 9. He had a lot of issues going on and there was a lot of red flags that should have made me leave him. But I was like, no, I gotta thug this out. I gotta be with this man. I didn't know about the cheating, but I did know about the meanness. He was very mean to me. But I noticed these little switch ups would happen out of nowhere. And ladies, I want to tell y'all, when a man does this, when a man flips his mood at you, when he starts being mean to you, that means he doesn't like you. That means he's looking for a reason to take out unnecessary emotion that has nothing to do with you. And 10 times out of 10, they're always going to make up a situation, pin out the littlest detail that you did. Maybe you use this makeup brush and not the other brush. Whatever it is, it's a randomizer to have an excuse to treat you the way they really want to treat you. But let's keep going. So time goes by. My birthday is March. The draft is April. I was doing everything for him and his family, his planning. He doesn't do anything for my birthday planning, but luckily I already have a trip planned to go to Vegas with me and my girls. So the day of my birthday comes and we sitting in the bed, bro, not talking about no plans. I'm like, oh, we could go to New Orleans. Maybe we could go grab a drink. We could go on a cute dinner date. This LSU starting football player tells me that he don't got it. I said, don't got what? Time? He said, no money. So I'm like, okay, baby. He bought me a bottle of Crown Apple and I was downstairs watching Twilight by myself while he was upstairs playing the game. He hated me. But dealing with this man, I kept a lot of things to myself. He would go off on me, kept it to myself. Him snapping on me randomly, keep it to myself. He dealing with his mama, keeping it to myself. I cannot believe I had this kind of birthday, but thank God my flight was in a few hours so I could catch a flight to Vegas and have fun with my girls. He was at my house while I was away. But I noticed when I called him when I landed, when I'm checking in with him the next day, he would seem a little annoyed. He would seem very dry. So now Jenna's in kiss up mode. What did Jenna do wrong? Can we talk it out? What's going on? Girls and I was at dinner and I was scrolling on Twitter. I saw that LSU was having a family feud with Southern on LSU's campus. Everybody was going to be there. I'm like, okay, perfect. I sent him the flyer and he said, I'm not going to that. I remember asking him, why don't you want to go? Jenna, I'm done with you. I don't have to explain anything to you. And am I missing something right here? Am I missing? Is there a page I didn't flip? What the fart knuckles? When I tell you this man went off, me sending him a Twitter flyer resulted into us breaking up. Yes, we broke up. Next thing you know, I'm blocked. I texted my roommate. I said, hey, is old boy there? She said, nah, friend. And your key on your nightstand too. Mind you, this is our very first argument. I told y'all everything was good up until this point. So baffled at the fact that us breaking up came from me asking why he doesn't want to go to a college family feud.
And if you know, you know, when you arguing with your man on your birthday, that whole birthday is over with. Come here. Ladies, I'm going to tell you two things. Men with low ego and low self-esteem and men who just want to control women, make sure to do their biggest one on a day that's just about them. Birthday celebration, a self-accomplishment. Whatever it is, he hates you and he doesn't respect you. He does that because on your day that's so big, he wants you to make him feel good. And you always make him feel good by saying, baby, why weren't you there? Baby, why are you asking like this? Don't fall for it. Run away. Swim away. Get off the flight. I come home. All his stuff is packed. My key is indeed on that nightstand. I'm calling both the phones. I'm kissing up to him. I'm trying to make him feel special. It's a long travel day, 12 a.m. at this point, baby. I get in my bed and I go to sleep until it's 6 a.m. in the morning and I get waken up to a phone call from his mother. Go to part 2.
My children and I are currently living in an extended stay and have been living in this extended stay since the beginning of June at the hands of my husband and their father. And this is not going to be an easy video for me to get through, but I'm going to get through it the best way that I can because the women that I am assigned to, the women that I am going to be advocating for, the women just like me, they need to hear my story. And the Most High has been very clear with me in saying that there's no way that I'm going to be able to help them if I don't first help myself. So here we go. For the last couple months, y'all have seen my videos, y'all have read my posts, y'all have seen my pictures, and everything seemingly looks to be put together. I've heard over the last couple months that nobody would ever have any clue that I have been dealing with the things that I have been dealing with because I make things look so good. And I have gotten to the point where I'm tired of doing that because what I realize is that I am wearing a mask that the Most High is very clear that I need to take off. So this video will be me taking the mask off. So let's get started. On January the 7th, my husband was arrested and charged for family violence, interference with property. Now, the interference with property charge was because he took my keys, and this was not the first time that he had taken my keys to the vehicle that he gave me. So this was actually the third time. And so I decided to seek out some sort of help because things in the home had gotten really volatile leading up until this ultimate event in January. And so I initially reached out just to get information on like what my options were. And I thought that was the end of, the whole thing. I was just talking to the police about what had happened and, what my options were, all the things. And then he ends up getting arrested a couple days later. The state ended up picking up the charges and pressing charges. He is arrested. He makes bail the next day, and a condition of his order is no contact with me. Now, at the time, I did not have a job. I was a stay-at-home wife, mom, and he was the one that was the breadwinner making all the money. And so because he could not return back to the home and he could have no contact with me, I was in fear of how, the bills were going to get paid and how long this was going to last and how this was going to affect my children ultimately. And during that time period, he decided that he was not going to pay the bills at the house and that he was not going to, continue to provide food or whatever the case may be. He wasn't going to do anything. And so it left all the pressure and all the responsibility on me to have to figure out, which is exactly what I did. I didn't complain to anybody. I didn't reach out. I figured it out. So I would do all my little side hustles just to make ends meet and to make sure that my children still had lights, they had water, they had food,
and we were seemingly coasting our way through. Now, he did pay the rent for February and the rent for March, because I think that somewhere in his mind he thought that he was going to be able to return to the home in maybe one of those months, but that was it. And so I was making things shake. I was making things do what it do. And I also was not breaking that no contact because of fear, or because I wanted him to, pay the bills or whatever. Like, I was just like, no, I'm not breaking no contact. I'm not doing anything. I'm just going to let this play out how it has to play out, because I have gotten to the point where I was just fed up and tired of being abused. Now, during this time, he was still doing little stuff to try to take from me, or to try to make me struggle even worse than what he knew I was already having to struggle, because he had removed his income from the house. He reached out to the car insurance company and told them he wanted to do a split household. So I got a phone call saying that I would be responsible for the truck's payments for the car insurance, and he would be responsible for his. But when I explained to the lady that the truck is registered in his name and that we are married and all the things, she was, basically like, yeah, no, he can't split the household. So that backfired. He wasn't able to do that. And there were just other little things that he would, try to do in the process. Things took a turn for the left on April the 4th. I received an email from the landlord letting me know that he wanted to do an early termination of the lease. The lease was not scheduled to end until October of 2026. And so he reached out to the landlord, told him he wanted to do an early termination. The landlord reaches out to me and forwards me the email and the letter that he sent him requesting that he terminates the lease. And so I went back and forth with the landlord. I'm like, explaining the situation, explaining that I can have no contact with him. Me and my children are here. We're listed as occupants. But because he was the leaseholder, the landlord was going to allow him to terminate the lease. And on April the 30th, we had to be out of that place. Now, at the time, I still do not have a job. I'm trying to find a job, but I don't have a job. And so I was put in a situation of trying to figure out where me and my children were going to live. At this point, I'm bracing myself and my children for impact. I didn't know how fast we were going to have to get out of the place. I did know that there was an eviction process, and the landlord couldn't just, say get out and we get out. So I rode that wave because my children were still in school. They didn't get out until May the 25th. And so I prayed and I said, God, I need my kids to at least be able to finish school, because I didn't want an interruption in, what they had going on at school. And so I filed for the divorce. I complete the paperwork myself, and I am trying to move, as quickly as I can, but also the answers are just not coming to me. I don't know what we're going to do. I don't know where we're going to go. A lot of my family members didn't even know all of what was going on, but his did. Now, in the midst of all of this, I told y'all he was doing little stuff to kind of, mess with me. During the process, at the end of April, me and the kids are sitting in the house. I go to turn the water on. The water is turned off. I call up to the water company just to be told that he had got the water turned off, and I still can have no contact with him. And so he gets the water turned off, and then the landlord ends up getting the water turned back on. And it was just a whirlwind of events. A lot of things that I had went through, a lot of things that my kids have been through and are, still processing, still going through. And I was in a state of just panic and just disbelief as to the fact that this was my life and this is what I was having to go through. During this time, I am also still working on my business, my coaching business, and I started the She Chose Herself movement. What y'all didn't know is that I was actively having to choose myself every single day, but it had started back in January. So I started that movement, and a friend on Facebook introduced me to one of his friends that that did introduce the possibility of creating a show from the content, a TV show from the content that I was putting out about women choosing themselves. And so I met with this person, and he was helping me to navigate. He was mentoring me on how to put this show together. But I kept running into the fact that I don't know where me and my kids are about to live. Also, during the time that we have been here, he was finally served the divorce papers. He got him a lawyer. And as of yesterday, the lawyer reached out to me. There was a hearing that I was unable to attend because I'm in Colorado. But there was a hearing that happened, and the lawyer is asking to change the jurisdiction of the case to the county that he lives in, and also asking the judge to grant me having to pay for his attorney's fees. And as of yesterday, I received the notification that I'm now responsible for paying his lawyer's fees, which is $2,500. So I share all of this to say I need help, and I need resources, and I know that my gift is my voice, and I know that with the mission that I'm on, and with what my destiny is, and who I am to impact, and who I am going to be assigned to, they're going to also need these resources. And so at this point, I'm asking for help in any capacity, in any way, shape, form, or fashion, whether that's sending me somebody's contact information. I am going to post a GoFundMe because I do want to get my children out of this hotel. I have made connections with people in DHS since I've been here to kind of get myself up and running and to get my program up and running, but that's going to take some time. School starts back here on the 10th of August, and my goal is to have my children and myself into a home of our own, not having to send them to school from a hotel. Once that is accomplished and that is done, my goal is to hit the ground running with my own program. I literally have the framework for my entire program, and if you've been following me for a while, y'all know I'm not new to this. I am really true to this. I had a whole nonprofit organization in Atlanta, a place for Renee, that was created in my mom's legacy because my mom was killed due to domestic violence. And so this is very personal for me to be going through similar situations. This is very personal, but it has to start with me. The last thing that I'm going to say is that being a survivor of domestic violence is not something that I think a lot of people truly understand or grasp all of what it entails. And I'll go down that street another day. But it has been 15 years of me enduring this. And one of the things that people who have experienced domestic violence struggle with the most is sharing their story, because it always turns out to be, well, what did you do? Or, how did you contribute to, the abuse, or whatever the case may be. And people have a hard time with believing them because, in my case, I know that I don't look like what I've been through. But I want to say that we got to set a new trail. We got to do something different because people are going through this for real. The days of being silent about domestic abuse are over. Those days are over, and I want y'all to hear me and hear me clearly. Anybody that's put on my path, anybody that I'm assigned to, their voice, their story will be heard, because we cannot keep operating in the way that we have been operating as a society. We just cannot. So I know that it starts with me. I know that I'm built for this. I know that I've been in the training ground for this, but I need to get over this hump so that I can get to work and do what I know that I have been called to do. So if you have any resources, if you feel compelled to help me and my children get over this hump, thank you. I appreciate you. But just know that you're not just sowing into me. You're sowing into the other women that I'm going to impact. Also, during the time that we have been here, he was finally served the divorce papers. He got him a lawyer. And as of yesterday, the lawyer reached out to me. There was a hearing that I was unable to attend because I'm in Colorado. But there was a hearing that happened, and the lawyer is asking to change the jurisdiction of the case to the county that he lives in, and also asking the judge to grant me having to pay for his attorney's fees. And as of yesterday, I received the notification that I'm now responsible for paying his lawyer's fees, which is $2,500. So I share all of this to say I need help, and I need resources, and I know that my gifts is my voice, and I know that with the mission that I'm on and with what my destiny is and who I am to impact and who I am going to be assigned to, they're going to also need these resources. And so at this point, I'm asking for help in any capacity, in any way, shape, form, or fashion, whether that's sending me somebody's contact information. I am going to post a GoFundMe because I do want to get my children out of this hotel. I have made connections with people in DHS since I've been here to kind of get myself up and running and to get my program up and running, but that's going to take some time. School starts back here on the 10th of August, and my goal is to have my children and myself into a home of our own, not having to send them to school from a hotel. Once that is accomplished and that is done, my goal is to hit the ground running with my own program. I literally have the framework for my entire program, and if you've been following me for a while, y'all know I'm not new to this. I am really true to this. I had a whole nonprofit organization in Atlanta, a place for Renee, that was created in my mom's legacy because my mom was killed due to domestic violence. And so this is very personal for me to be going through similar situations. This is very personal, but it has to start with me. The last thing that I'm going to say is that being a survivor of domestic violence is not something that I think a lot of people truly understand or grasp all of what it entails. And I'll go down that street another day. But it has been 15 years of me enduring this. And one of the things that people who have experienced domestic violence struggle with the most is sharing their story, because it always turns out to be, well, what did you do? Or, how did you contribute to, the abuse or whatever the case may be. And people have a hard time with believing them because in my case, I know that I don't look like what I've been through. But I want to say that we got to set a new trail. We got to do something different because people are going through this for real. The days of being silent about domestic abuse are over. Those days are over, and I want y'all to hear me and hear me clearly. Anybody that's put on my path, anybody that I'm assigned to, their voice, their story will be heard, because we cannot keep operating in the way that we have been operating as a society. We just cannot. So I know that it starts with me. I know that I'm built for this. I know that I've been in the training ground for this. But I need to get over this hump so that I can get to work and do what I know that I have been called to do. So if you have any resources, if you feel compelled to help me and my children get over this hump, thank you. I appreciate you. But just know that you're not just sowing into me. You're sowing into the other women that I'm going to impact.
I want to tell you guys a story on when my ex tried to unalive me in my college dorm at the Virginia State University. I'm smiling because it's kind of hard for me to talk about, so bear with me. And quick disclaimer, this in no way has anything to do with Virginia State University. They did their part when this happened, so I just want to clear that part. So I was in a very abusive relationship with a student, football player, you know, native actually of Petersburg, Virginia. We dated for about 2 years, and most of the relationship he was very abusive. But the particular night that I'm talking about where he tried to unalive me, he came. Well, I don't even know how to tell story times. This is my first time, so please bear with me, y'all. It was one of those things where I couldn't say anything to him. And if you guys are familiar with domestic violence, you basically have to walk on eggshells when you're dealing with your abuser. So I know that this particular night I was very emotional. I was very angry with him because I was just tired. I was tired of being cheated on, lied to, and just abused. Like, this man would literally put his hands on me like in the most random moments. We could be at Olive Garden and he just would snap. It just didn't matter. And this particular night, I just remember being so angry, just crying all night long, because honestly, something in me probably felt like he was either cheating that night or we were, I don't know. I think I just broke up with him or something to the effect. And I did it over a text message. And that was my first mistake. When I finished sending those text messages to him, I went to sleep. I know I cried myself to sleep that night. And then randomly, I heard bangs at my college dorm room door. This is not the first time nor the first dorm room in which he has come to. He didn't even live on campus. He lived off campus. But the other dorms he has broken into, he has taken my clothes and thrown them across the bridge or thrown them in the dumpsters on campus. He has taken like stuff out of my room, broken laptops. Like, this man would come to my dorm anytime. And honestly, like I said, that's my first mistake, even texting while I was on campus, because he was unpredictable. So this particular night, he next thing I know, like I said, I wake up to banging on my door. Me and my best friend were roommates at the time, and me and her woke up to the banging. And I just remember it started off as knocks. And then I looked out the window, the little peephole, and I saw him out there banging with a hoodie on. And it was clear as day, because you know the lights in the hallways and the dorms don't go away. This was quads, mind you. My best friend and I wake up. She is like, what is going on? She already knew who it was, because he had a history of not just abusing me, but doing stuff to my friends too. So she was very much aware of who was outside that door, but she was asleep. So when she woke up and saw this man, heard this man doing this to the door, she instantly started freaking out, and so did I. So I answered his phone calls because he was calling me at the same time. Oh my gosh. I'm not finna cry. He was calling me at the same time as he was knocking on the door, and I finally answered the calls, and he was saying he was going to unalive me. He was saying that on the phone, and he was going into like all different types of things. But the thing about it was, he's saying it on the phone, but he's yelling loud enough for the whole hallway to hear. So my neighbors and I were very close, and this was a co-ed dorm. The boys who lived beside me were calling us too, like, y'all, what's going on? The girls across the hall were calling us, what is going on? This man is outside your door. What's happening? Mind y'all, it had to be like 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning. And Like I said, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, he's calling my phone, telling me he's going to kill me. He's saying all types of stuff about me. He's calling me all types of B's, all types of hoes, all types of every word you can think of, y'all. This man said that in the hallway, was telling all my business, saying all the things. He was making up lies. He was just saying all different types of things. He was just acting so irate. Next thing I know, the bangs got louder. I look out the peephole, y'all, and I will never forget it. This man had his pew-pew at the door, and he was banging my college dorm door, trying to get in, he was, my best friend and I could not believe it. We could not believe that this man took his pew-pew out and was banging it on the door, y'all. Like, that was the scariest thing. Like, he has strangled me. He has punched me until I passed out. He has thrown me across a parking lot before. Like, he has done all different types of crazy things, but it was always like sometimes behind closed doors, sometimes like random nights, sometimes like random parking lots and stuff like that. But I never thought he would go onto a campus dorm with a pew-pew. Like, that is crazy. Like, I just never thought that it would get to this point. My best friend and I go to the bathroom. She's pulling me in like, you cannot talk him out of this. And both of us just started texting our moms and telling our moms that we loved them. Y'all, we was 18, 19. We was texting our mamas that we loved them. Texting our dads, our siblings, I love you. We was saying that because we just knew. We knew that we was about to be unalive. Like, we were fully aware of what was happening in that moment, and we knew that this was the last time. Me and her sat in the bathroom. If you ever been in quads at Virginia State, you know there's the room and then there's the bathroom. It's by the door. We put like our big organizer at the door because the way the banging was with the gun, we knew he was coming in soon. We just felt like the door was about to burst open soon. Man, we just stared at each other and just were crying and just like looking at each other like, bro. In my head, I felt so disappointed and so disgusted with myself because I knew that me staying in this abusive relationship is about to kill my best friend. Next thing you know, he pulls the fire alarm. So every student that lived in that dorm had to evacuate because the lights started flickering. Like the siren was going off. The lights are flickering. Like, it was crazy. It was the scariest thing ever. While all this is going on, I forgot to include my best friend is on the phone with the police. So I'm on the phone with him trying to talk him down. My best friend on the phone with the police, but they can hear what he's saying because I got it on speakerphone. And he's not calming down, y'all. You can hear people in the hallway. You can hear students in the hallway moving around. So you know that he's aware of where he is. He's aware that, like, you've taken this to the next level. You feel me? Like, he knew that at this point, everyone can see me with my gun in the middle of a hallway. And next thing I know, it gets quiet. The sirens are still going. The lights are still flickering, but it gets quiet. And then the SWAT team comes. The SWAT team comes to our dorm door, and they're banging on the door. And part of me felt relief, but part of me was still very scared that what if he's in the dorm, because he has done things on campus to me before, in the stairwell. So what is it called? Whatever it's called. So I was scared to walk out the room. I'm literally shaking, can't really like catch my breath because I'm so scared of what's gonna happen when I walk out this dorm room. I'm freaking out. So like I said, my best friend, she's still on the phone with the police, and they're telling her go head out or whatever. So we're thinking we're about to be escorted because that's what they told us. Y'all, because they didn't know who had the pew-pew, they were pushing us down the stairs because they didn't know who the issue was with. They were guarded up, y'all. The SWAT team was pushing us down the stairs. It was the scariest moment. We had on our pajamas. Like, we didn't even have on real clothes. And while we're being pushed down the stairs or whatever, we see the students outside. It was just so embarrassing. I'm gonna have to make a part 2, but if you want to donate to my nonprofit, I am doing a giveaway to a local shelter for domestic violence victims. Click the link in the bio so you can donate and learn more about what we do with 10%. I want to tell you guys a story on when my ex tried to unalive me.
Okay, so last night, after I posted that, I literally had a panic attack, guys, because that was very overwhelming for me to even bring those emotions back up, revisiting all the memories. But I was able to call my mom and tell her that I posted it. She doesn't have a TikTok, so I had to call my parents and let them watch it together last night, and they had a few things they wanted to add to the part 2. My mom let me know that after he left the dorm, he actually called her and threatened to unalive her and my father. And my mom and dad called the police, and they let them know. And the police came to their neighborhood. They live in a suburban neighborhood, and they came to the neighborhood, and they patrolled the neighborhood. One cop car was in the front of the neighborhood, and one was in the back of the cul-de-sac. And my parents let me know that entire night they sat in the living room and they waited. They just waited because they had no idea what was going to happen next. They had no idea that he had just did that at my dorm because there was no time to call them yet. So just to know that so many people were affected by this, and that my parents never told me that they were going through that night.
And they didn't take the threat lightly because he was known to do unpredictable stuff, like I said before. It's been a time where he's come to their home before and acted out. So they were familiar with this man's behavior. And I keep saying this man because, like I said, I met him when I was 19, and I believe he was 23. Yes, he was 4 years older than me. And I also want to add to the part 2 that it didn't start like that. It started with love bombing. It started with gifts. It started with jewelry. It started with money, and he had a extra car that I was driving on campus. This is my freshman year, mind you. So it started with love bombing. And then it was just slowly progressing. It would be 1 minute, the abuse started with, all right, I'm gonna yell at you. Then after yelling at you to see how far I could go with that, all right, then a small push, then a small shove, then a full mush, then you know what I'm saying? It just kept building up. The abuse just kept building. It wasn't one of those things where it started out with just straight trying to unalive me. It slowly built up. It slowly progressed, and most importantly, it was the mental of, you deserve this because XYZ, or the controllingness, the isolation, and like I said, the isolation and things like that. But yeah, if I knew what I know now, obviously I do things different. But I think it was the part of letting my parents watch the video and hearing their regrets and the things they wish that they could have done more. Girl, I ain't gonna cry. The things that they wish they could have done more on, and how they still feel guilt and stuff from what they didn't do. That part is what is was really extremely hard for me last night to deal with, because it wasn't their fault. Anything that happened to me was not their fault. But I do want to say that they did what they could do, and I did what I could do, and I was able to find love again, and I was able to experience life again. I was able to go through the process of healing. I'm not gonna say that everything is I'm not gonna say that it didn't affect the woman I am today, but I am no one's victim. I am a very resilient girl. I'm not broken because of it. I don't hate him. I don't hate anybody who enabled the behavior. I don't feel any resentment or any hurt left for it, if that makes sense. I just mourn the girl that I was before sometimes, but other than that, God has restored my peace. He's restored my joy. He has given me beauty for ashes, for sure. And that's why I feel like now, if any time, is the time for me to be an advocate for other women and men who may deal with a situation similar to mine. But yeah, like after all of that happened, y'all, years later, like we broke up like 2018, 2019. 2023, I moved to Houston. But in July of 2023, what was that, 3 months before I moved to Houston, he actually, mind you, been blocked for years. He DM'd me on Instagram and said, "Isn't this your gym you go to at 5 a.m.? He wanted me to feel like, baby, there is no mountain high enough, there is no valley low enough that will keep me from getting to you." And this is the person I'm talking about, you know. Same individual decided to find people that I was close to and follow them on Instagram so that they could repost him, and they did. I saw y'all. Found people I was close to, mutual friends, to post him. You know, he's doing favors for them, and you know, they're posting with him and stuff like that. I saw you, sister. I saw you, brother. I saw y'all. That's okay, you know. But I understand that was all a part of the abuse. Like, he was trying to still make me feel intimidated, inferior to him by staying close to people that were close to me, people that he didn't even know. So this is the individual I'm talking about, you know. And I am just grateful that I didn't stay in Virginia, because when it gets to that point where not only are you sending me a screenshot of my gym, you Googled my gym from pictures I posted on my story, to knowing the time that I go at 5 a.m. You send me that, like, I'm going to find you. And then you get in contact with people that are close to me so I can still see you on social media, even though you're blocked. I had a nonprofit event that same year. And he came to the event. Like, you know, stuff like that. Trying to make sure that I feel like I'm not safe. But when you have a favor, I'm literally like shaking, but when you have a favor and you have a grace over your life, that God's protection is so much greater than anything a man can do. I know for a fact that God's grace over my life is just different, because there is a lot of situations where people do not make it out of things like this. People do not live after things like this, and I am not only able to live, but to love again, but to enjoy life, but to become an advocate, but to become a nonprofit owner, but to go ahead, not only finish college with honors, but to also go back, get a master's, finish that with honors. You get what I'm saying? Like, the enemy will do the things to try to slow you down, but God, but his plan, but his protection, but his grace, but his mercy. And that is the hill that I will die on, is understanding there is grace over my life, there is protection, there is a healing power. He is still in the business of keeping, of protecting, of healing, of giving beauty for ashes. That is my testimony, to be covered by grace. So I appreciate all the support, the love. You guys have no idea. I didn't think that I would receive positive responses, especially from people who knew him or knew me. But thank you. Y'all have a blessed day.
I wasn't even gonna do this, but you know what? Might as well. The motherfucker ain't shit anyway, so I'm about to air it out. I'm about to air every fucking thing out. So, story time about how Mr. You about to lose your job, Julius.
was cheating on me for the past 3 years out of the 4 years that we were together. Oh, and for the people that are like, oh, no, he wouldn't do that. He wouldn't do that. Oh, please believe I have his whole confession on tape. And please believe I'm going to put it in this video. So this motherfucking bitch got caught. Got caught living a double life with 2 different women in 2 different states. Now, mind you, me and the girl, hey, baby, me and her cool. I ain't even got no problem with her because we both were trading stories. So if you see this, hey, baby. Either way. So, yeah. We were together in 2020. That's when we got together. Everybody saw it. It was a whole thing. So apparently he met this girl in 2021 at a club, and you know, whatever, they started a thing, and then they had sex. Okay, they had sex or whatever, and so she eventually finds out about me. So she finds out about me, and mind you, I know nothing about her. I know nothing. He's still coming back and forth as if, you know, nothing's changed. It's just me and him. So we went to New Orleans in November of 2022 with my family. And one day we got real drunk when we was down there. And then I come in the bathroom and I hear him on the phone in the middle of the night talking about how he missed her and all this, that, and the third. And so I immediately got mad. Like, who the fuck are you talking to? Because that's not your mama. And so he was like, oh, that's my sister, my friend. I met her years ago, you know, way before me and you. It was nothing between me and her. I just had somebody I can confide in. And I was like, okay, you know, because I got brothers that I can confide in or whatever. So I was like, all right, cool. So then he introduces us together. Y'all had us on the motherfucking phone talking and everything. And she finds out about me. Mind you, she finds out about me, and he told her, they had a whole agreement that, look, we just gonna be friends. What we did was a, you know, one-time thing, blah, blah, blah. Had it making it seem like, you know, it was just that was it. So me and her cool, we on the phone, hey, whatever. And so a year later, November again of 2023, I'm laying on him, and he looks at his phone. And so I look at his phone and I see her text him and said, hey, I made it home, baby cakes. So I was like, why the fuck is she calling you baby cakes if y'all are friends? My brothers and sisters, whatever, they don't call me no shit like that, bro. What the fuck? And so he was like, oh, it's just a pet name. I said, well, I don't like that. And then he ended up confessing that he did have sex with her, but it was like years before. And I said, so you lied to me a whole year and had me and this girl in each other's faces, and you lied to me for a whole year knowing that you had sex with her a while back. And he was like, yeah. So I broke up with him then. But then we ended up getting right back together, bro. And so we got right back together. And then he ends up, I told him it was either me or her. So he needed to stop talking to her. So he ends up texting her and telling her, hey, I'm going to keep my relationship a dream. She told me I can't talk to you, boom, whatever. So, of course, I'm like, okay, great. She's gone. I ain't got to worry about her. But apparently, guys, that was a lie. He texted some other friend and changed the name in the phone and screenshotted it and sent it to me, and making it seem like she went off on him and just completely blocked him. And in my mind, I'm thinking, why would a friend block you like that if, you know, y'all didn't have nothing going on, right? So I'm just like, okay, whatever, you know, it is what it is. I ain't think nothing of it no more. I just said, you know, we're good. So now, fast forward to November of 2024, and she messages me on Snapchat because his dumb ass made a mistake and put us in a group chat together and didn't know, because he was texting both of us at the same fucking time. And so she remembered and I remembered, but she messaged me and was like, hey, I think it's time that we talk about Julius. And I thought she was coming at me on some, oh, you know, me and him are friends and you need to understand that I don't have anything with him. No, baby, she was coming with receipts. She was coming with, me and him have been together this whole time. He's been coming and staying at my house when he says he's at his best friend's house. And I was like, girl, whatever, you know, I don't believe that. She started sending pictures. He was down there this past weekend, y'all, at this trail ride. And they took a picture together, fucking kissing at her house. And she took multiple pictures. So I asked him about it. I said, bro, I'm about to fucking, what the fuck is this? And he was like, oh, that's an old picture. That's not even recent. I was like, so you've been cutting your hair like this back then? Because when I met you, you had a buzz cut. So that's crazy. And then I'm looking at her and I'm like, she had a kid, and like she was tiny. She's not like she didn't get big or nothing, but you can tell a woman that's had a baby, and like she had a baby and she developed her woman body, if that makes sense. And so I can tell that. And then she had twists, and I'm like, bro, I'm looking at her pages and I'm like, this is the same dress that she had on that she sent me. You're in the same fucking picture in the same fucking hallway, and he's over here denying, y'all. I'm talking about would not let the fuck up.
So then I said, if I find out this shit is the fucking truth, it's gonna be bad. It's gonna be bad for you. So then, she ends up, you know, we going back and forth. But I told him, you know what? Maybe she just bitter. Maybe she just bitter. You know what I'm saying? Now this is, I said all this before I got all like the other pictures. But I was like, maybe she just bitter. So I'm gonna just cuss her out. But in my mind, I know I'm gonna cuss her out, let her cuss me out, let him think that I'm mad at her, and he's like nothing. I'm not suspicious at all, right? So. So I get off the phone with him because he's in the background, and she's like, not him in the background trying to defend himself. And so I immediately messaged her back, say, look, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cuss you out. I only did that so he would think that I was mad at you, and that I was on his side. But we need to get to the bottom of this shit. And so me and her both just going back and forth, trading stories, filling in blanks. She telling me how he told her me and him not even together no more. I'm an ex. When he comes down here, he only comes down here to work, and he stays in his friend's house. His friend that he was bringing to my house to help him build patrol cars, that motherfucker knew, and he was going to her house too. His mama knew, his daddy knew, everybody knew that he had 2 motherfucking girlfriends. And when I asked him, why would you do this? What was I not giving you? He gonna sit in my face and tell me, well, she was allowing me to be a dad because she already has a daughter, and because she liked to take trips. Oh, mind you, speaking of trips, her birthday trip in June of 2024, he was there. He went and told me that was a guy's trip that he was taking to Vegas or whatever, and in reality, they were going up there together. That same weekend, this motherfucker had the nerve to come and bring pizza and feed all my co-workers, and then go right down there and be laid up with her. And it's still lying. That's the crazy thing. It's still lying. So me and her basically have been filling in the blanks, man, of everything that did not make sense. This motherfucker is on her vlog over here, on her birthday trip, Mother's Day, any of the little trail riding things. He's been in this trail riding group because of her. He told me he joined it because of, some guys, some gangs, but he's literally been perpetrating this shit this whole motherfucking time, y'all. He's been having me believe that I was valued and I was appreciated and I was the only one for him, bro. He literally had me motherfucking fooled this whole time. And then he kept wanting to be like, he kept making me feel like I was the one that would cheat, or I was the one that would keep some from him. You know, all that guilty shit, all that I'm doing this, so let me make sure you're not doing the same thing. This motherfucker came and put cameras around my house, put cameras around her house, was tracking both of our locations, like all this crazy ass bullshit just to keep up 2 different relationships. And never thought that this shit was gonna get out. Talking about I just didn't know how to leave. I didn't know what to do, which is straight bullshit, because I have broken up with him and told him he can get the fuck out and he can go, and so has she. She pushed when she found out that I was around. She was like, you need to go be with Dream. Like, if that's who you want to be with, we be friends, you could just be with Dream. And that's when me and her was like, oh, hey, whatever. But then he went to her and lied and told her that me and him broke up and we weren't together. And like I said, for the ones that say, oh no, I don't think Julius would do this, here is the recording.
You knew this when getting in this relationship with me, how cold-hearted I can get when I'm hurt, when I'm betrayed, when I'm lied to.
I didn't mean to betray you or hurt you. That wasn't my intention.
So what do you call cheating for 3 years?
It wasn't my intention, Dream.
So what was it, Julius?
That wasn't my intention.
When did it start?
When did everything start?
Yeah.
April 8th, 2021.
And when did you meet her?
April 8th, 2021.
How'd you meet her?
Creekside. She walked past me and looked me up and down.
And you started flirting with her? Start talking to her?
Started a conversation.
And it just went from there?
It did. It's supposed to be just conversation. Took it and fucking ran with it. And didn't stop.
So when did you actually tell her about me?
She found out on her own.
That mean you were dating?
She found out on her own. TikTok.
And then you tried to get us to be friends. So you had sex with her before she found out?
Yes.
Good to know.
I forgot
that I have a story time for y'all. Stay seated. So the other day, I'm taking my baby to school, minding my business, and I'm walking at this point. Y'all know I'm 7 months pregnant, and I look very much so pregnant. At least I think so, because this is not my first child. So it's like, I think I look pregnant. I don't have a large chest, so the belly is sticking out further than the chest. However, I do have hips. I got hips and a little butt, okay? So I'm just minding my business. And y'all know, if you're dropping off your kid and you live on a military installation, most of the people that are dropping off their children at the schools are married. They have a partner. Like, I would say 97% of these people. Maybe there's a small percentage of people that are single, but I will be the first to say those are normally women. The single soldiers with kids are normally women, not men. So if a man approaches you, more than likely they're seeing somebody, they're married, something's happening. So somebody proceeds to speak to me. And not only do they proceed to speak to me, they proceed to ask me for a Snapchat. Y'all, I don't have a Snapchat. That's number one. I don't have Snapchat. Okay, that's number one. And if you are military affiliated, yes, we're thinking the same thing. We're thinking the same thing. And the thing about it is y'all will never beat the allegations of being cheaters, doing stuff like that. You're never going to beat the allegations. You're never going to beat that. First of all, like, why are you trying to talk? Do you not see the bump that I'm carrying? And not the one on the back, the one on the front. Do you not see the bump? Do you not? Like, I will get out the car and show y'all, but it's like, do you not see the bump? So I'm going to see if I can insert a picture of my bump, because it's like, actually that day, what I had on that day, and it was early in the morning. So I was looking like early in the morning. You know what I'm saying? And my hair wasn't done at the time. I hadn't did my hair yet. And then I'm like, no, because it's, like I said, it's early in the morning. I don't like to be rude to people or nothing like that. I just, I'm just like, no, thank you. Then the person proceeds to ask for my number, and I'm like, sir, I'm married. Please go away. Like, and I love it here. I love it where I'm at. But the thing about it is y'all will never beat the allegations of military people being cheaters. Like, more than likely, this person is married. That's why you asked me, did I have a Snapchat first? Because if you're on Snapchat, stuff shows up and then it deletes. So they say it deletes and you don't see it again, or the person can't, like, once they open it, it's gone. Y'all, it's not the fact that, like, that person is probably a cheater. It's the fact that, why the hell would you even try to talk to me with this excuse me. Oh, I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry for cussing. Why would you try to talk to me with this big old baby bump? As if you don't see what I see. Like, that's so awkward, and that's so weird. It's so awkward, and then it's so weird. And then I think what makes it, like, even more weird, I didn't think anything of the interaction at first. And y'all, I'm not trying to be funny, so please forgive me for what I'm saying. I love everybody, but I must just speak my truth. I don't automatically think that when a non-person of color speaks to me, they're attracted to me as a black woman. Okay? So there's that. So I'm not thinking too much of anything of it at first, because I don't know. Because I'm just like, sir, we see eye to eye. You're like my height. I'm 5'5". You 5'5". We're looking at each other. Number one, we're at eye level, and you're a very petite man. And I'm just like, I am a big girl. So why are you even
Like, I don't know. It was just overall, it was just a little funny interaction. And I wanted to share that with y'all because I actually thought it was hilarious. And I just think, like, military folks, you're never going to be able to beat the allegations when you have people doing stuff like that. So, yeah, that's that. Okay, bye. Okay, so y'all know it's the weekend. So what must we do? We must try something new. And it's not necessarily new because I've like tried it before, but it's new because I'm telling y'all for the first time. So, you know how like you want like a little sweet treat, but not like too sweet. And some of the Hispanic bakeries out here have so many choices, it's like overwhelming. Like, it's overwhelming to go into the bakeries because it's so many options, it's so many choices. So I went to the mall, the Sierra Vista Mall, I think that's what it's called, something like that. Anyways, and I took a stroll to Churro Time. Okay, churros is like, I feel like the, I don't know if churros are exclusively Mexican or they're like Hispanic thing. I don't know. So we'll just say they're like the Mexican version of, to me, like a funnel cake. That's what it reminds me of. Except it has like a crunchy exterior with a soft interior. So I went to Churro Time. It's the afternoon. I got the churro bites with the strawberry dipping sauce. So I'll be back to show y'all. Okay, this is what it looks like. Say cheese. So it says Churro Time on the cup. My little strawberry dipping sauce. And they look like this. They got a little cinnamon on the outside. It's so tasty. It's not like too sweet. It's not like very sweet because I don't really like a lot of sweet stuff. But I think since I'm pregnant, it's just, it sounds good. You know what I'm saying? It just sounds good. That's all I can tell you. So we're gonna do a little dip. Oh, these people can't drive, child. We're gonna do a little dippy dip into the strawberry sauce. Hold on. Ooh. Yep. Just what I thought. And then on top of that, you can get it with the sauce already inside if you get the bigger ones. But this man beside me is gonna piss me off. I'm in the parking lot still. Anyways, you can get it filled already where it's like the long ones, or like the shorter ones. They're a little bit bigger than the minis. But I just like to do the minis because I didn't want to have like food all over my face or anything like that. Not you clicking your alarm like you in the bins. Okay. Like I'm gonna break into your car. Okay. I'm sorry, y'all. I be having a lot going on. So those are always a 10 out of 10. So if you're just looking for a little sweet treat, that'll do it. They don't sell nothing in there, nothing else in there. I think you can get it with ice cream if you want to, but I don't like I said, I don't like a lot of sweet stuff. So yeah, there's that. It's just churros. You can get different sauce if you want the sauce, and you can get ice cream. But it's just like a little treat, like if you're walking around the mall, or you know, if you're just on a small little side quest where you need a little snack. But I love it so much. So much. It's so good. Okay, y'all. Bye.
That is the core problem with toxic relationships. And it runs through all 4 of these stories. The moment you understand what you are in and the moment you actually get out are separated by something that sometimes takes months and sometimes takes years and has nothing to do with intelligence or willpower. It is about attachment, about investment, about the specific way the brain holds on to what it has built, even when what it built it on is rotten. You can know everything and still not be done. That is not a character flaw. That is how attachment works. Lily's story starts with a gut feeling she tried to talk herself out of and failed. Tommy agreed to the breakup too easily. He had never done that before. She stared at her phone after he said fine, like something was wrong in the room. She called him later and said she was coming to get her stuff. He said he was not home. His brother was not home either, which she notes with precision. His brother had no job, no friends, did not leave the house. Both of them, allegedly, gone at the same time. She waited an hour trying to think her way out of what she already knew. Then she drove over. Tommy's car was outside. Eagle's car was outside. She knocked and heard whispering. Eagle eventually opened the door and redirected her to the back bedroom to see things she had recently bought. A thing Eagle actually did sometimes, which is what made it work. The door, which was never closed, was closed. Eagle kept pulling items out and stretching the time. When Lily said she needed to go get something from Tommy's room, Eagle jumped in front of her own bedroom door and stood there. Told her the brothers were moving something and she should not see it. Then she called Tommy on the phone and told him to take the long way around the building. A mother, coordinating her adult son's escape from his girlfriend by physically blocking a door and routing him around the building. This is not a passive situation. She was an active participant. She knew what was happening in that apartment, and she ran interference in real time. The argument that followed had Eagle telling Lily that her nasty attitude was the reason Tommy was cheating. She said this while she was standing inside the active assistance she had just provided to the cheating. That is the specific shape of certain family dynamics. The person who enables the behavior also blames the person being harmed for provoking it. You do not just get the cheating in situations like this. You also get the justification infrastructure around it. What that infrastructure does over time is harder to see from inside than from outside. When the people around the person you are with consistently minimize what he does, explain it away, or redirect blame toward you, it does not register immediately as a system. It registers as individual incidents. She said something unfair. His family always takes his side. Over time, it functions as a whole. It makes you less sure of your own reading of events, more willing to accept explanations that do not fully add up, more likely to stay in situations that from the outside look obvious. You are not just in a relationship with him. You are in a relationship with everything that surrounds him. And all of it has been telling him for years that his behavior is acceptable. Lily went back to Tommy 2 months later. She says so herself, without much defense of it. She knows. She went back because knowing what happened and being done with the attachment are two completely different experiences, and the attachment was not done with her yet. Raven's situation starts with a text at 8 a.m. from his sister. The message said, "Is that you in the room?" There is no way to read that text and not know exactly what it means. Raven texted her best friend, who lived across town in the east. The friend drove to the West Bank to pick her up. No questions asked, brought her back to the east. Her friend had not even asked what was going on. She just came. Raven called him on the way and said, "Bring my debit card outside." He said, "Hold up." She said, "I am coming inside to get it." They went back and forth on this until she was at the door. She pulled it open before he could slide his hand through and handle the situation. His mother came from the back of the house. Then his mother did something remarkable. She came outside and said, woman to woman, he ain't shit. You know this. What are you doing here? Raven agreed. She said you were right. She could hear it, understand it, agree with it out loud, standing right there. She did not leave. The friend who drove from the east to the West Bank without asking any questions is a small but real detail. She did not need to know what was happening. She just needed to know that Raven needed her, and she came. That friend was operating with complete clarity about the situation and showed up anyway. Raven had that support in place, had her own gut confirmed, had his mother tell her directly to her face that he was not worth staying for. None of it was enough on its own. The exit has to come from a place that external information cannot reach. It comes from inside when you are finally ready and not before. This is the part of toxic relationships that nobody outside them can fully account for. The people around you can see it plainly. His own mother could name what he was clearly and directly to Raven's face. Raven could receive that assessment, agree with it completely, and still not make the move that would have been the obvious next step. Because the knowing is one thing. The leaving requires something the knowing cannot produce on its own. The baby mama situation is the one where she understood what was happening throughout, and it still took the full extent of it for her to actually be done. She and the baby daddy tried to work things out for the child. She cut off her other people. He showed her messages proving he had cut off the side girl too. The side girl was angry and went in. She saw the messages. She moved forward and tried to build something. What she could not fully account for was the side girl not being done. The side girl started making herself indispensable. Cooking breakfast, lunch, brunch, dinner, steaks, paying for a birthday trip. The baby mama says plainly that she will always lose to a woman who pays for a man. She does not do that. The side girl did. He told her the birthday trip was with friends. She was not fooled. She created enough chaos that he could not leave. Then, in the middle of all of it, he had sex with her while texting the side girl on his phone behind her back, watching the side girl's location come closer. She noticed he was on his phone. They stopped. He went into the shower. She had hidden his clothes when he first started getting dressed. He found other clothes anyway. He texted, "I'll be back." He went on vacation with the side girl. His son and his baby mama were in his house. A year later, he is engaged to the side girl. The moment she named as the N was not the lying or the texting. It was him actually leaving from their bed and going to a woman who had paid for a trip. Something about that sequence, the sex, the phone, the hidden clothes, the other clothes, the text message, the door closing, made the accumulation finally land. It was not one of those things. It was all of them in order. The letter story takes the longest to fully arrive. 7 months into the marriage, she goes into the safe looking for his birth certificate. She finds a letter addressed to his ex, the girl he dated for 2 months before basic training. The letter says he thinks about their relationship and he loves her and misses her and would leave his wife in a heartbeat and is only with her because her family is nice. She goes to the bathroom and sobs, calls her best friend, who says it was a long time ago and probably means nothing. She confronts him that night at dinner, reading the whole letter out loud while he chases her around the house, saying he does not remember writing it. She forgives him. She tells herself it was old. and she does not understand why he was so attached to someone who treated him poorly and dated him for 2 months. A week later, she is on the shared iPad and goes to the beginning of the photos. There is a picture of the letter. The tag says Instagram. He had photographed the letter and sent it to the ex. This was not an old thing he forgot. He wrote it, photographed it, and actively sent it to a woman who by all accounts had no interest in him and had long since moved on. He married his wife because the ex said no. That was the actual reason. There is also the question of what you do with that information once you have it. You do not just find out that you were a fallback. You find out in the middle of a marriage you are living inside. You find out while sharing a bed and a bathroom and an iPad and a life with this person. The information does not arrive on the outside of the relationship where you can examine it at a distance. It arrives inside, where it has to coexist with everything you have already built, which is now sitting on a completely different foundation than you thought. That is a specific disorientation. You stay partly because you do not yet know how to reorganize a life around what you just learned. Not in 1 week, and definitely not in one night. She stayed 3 more years. The both sides question in all 4 of these is not about whether the men were doing harmful things. They were doing harmful things, clearly. The question is what it actually takes to exit a toxic relationship. And the answer from all 4 stories is the same. It takes more than knowing. The brain does not process evidence like math and produce an output called the exit. The brain holds the good alongside the bad. It holds the history. It holds every apology that felt real and every quiet morning and every version of this person that made you think this is the one who is actually here, the real one. You leave when the accumulation finally outweighs all of that, not one incident earlier. There is also no shame in how long it takes. Tommy's cheating was coordinated by his mother. The baby daddy had sex with his baby mama while routing someone else to the address. The husband photographed a love letter to another woman and sent it on the internet. These are not situations designed for clean exits. They produce exits eventually when the person inside them has processed enough of it to move. That processing does not run on a fixed schedule. It runs on its own time, in its own order, and it cannot be rushed from the outside, no matter how clearly the outside can see what is happening. That is the shape of it. Not when someone outside you can see it clearly and says so. Not when his mother says he ain't shit to your face. Not when you find a letter in a safe saying he would leave you in a heartbeat. Sometimes, yes, those moments are the moment. But often, they are just moments inside the longer process of being done. The actual departure comes when it comes, and it rarely comes the first time you understand what you are in. He photographed the letter and sent it to the ex on Instagram. She found the tag on the iPad a week after she had already forgiven him. She stayed 3 more years after that. And that is the thing about these situations. The evidence does not do the leaving for you. The knowing is not the going. The going comes when the last piece clicks into place, when whatever was still holding you there finally lets go. That moment is rarely the dramatic one. It is usually something quieter, something small that you barely register as it happens, but it is the one that finally holds.